Oh, there you go. Ah, la, la, la. Ah, la, la, la. Mhm. Okay. Thank you for that update, YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Was it moderate? Hey, the boy. Hi, it's your boy. Moderate. Uh, oh, do I not have camera or anything? Hold on a minute. That's not right. We want to do to this one. There I am with my luxurious hair. You know what? I'm digging the. I want to play Beat Saber afterwards, so I'm gonna put in my contacts because I don't like popping them in right as I play Beat Saber because it's weirdly enough they're like loose. For anyone who wears contacts, you probably know what I mean. Like when you first put them in, they can feel kind of loose, I guess, and then they sort of get situated. So I like putting them in early before I do something that requires me to have them in. Sorry for anyone who's squeamish. 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 Did I say the word? Sounds like I'm saying screamish. There you go. I'm getting used to it as well because like the strength is slightly different than my glasses, and it was like again, so that people who wear glasses and contacts probably have had is when you put on glasses or contacts that aren't quite the strength or stronger. Stronger is way worse, so we'll just say weaker because not often will I put on glasses that are stronger. If you put on glasses and contacts that are weaker than you're supposed to have, they can kind of make you feel dizzy. I don't know if dizzy is the right word. Nauseous, like because it's not the right. Like it's not sharpening things enough. It's kind of like I couldn't walk around all day without my contacts and glasses because I'll probably get dizzy because my vision is so bad. Everything's just blurred. Imagine, like in depth of field. In fact, I'm gonna describe what my eyesight looks like. Actually, let's fix YouTube first and get all my stuff working. Pop out this, yes. And then we go Twitch. Pop out. Cool, that's working. That's working. Sweet. You know what? I'll pop out the YouTube chat as well, so go just side by side. Yes. So for those of you who like, oh, I want to watch Steve. Want to watch someone who's got. So my left eye is a 4.25 minus 4.25. Plus would mean I need reading glasses. Minus would mean I need glasses for long vision, not short. Because I'm short-sighted because I can see up close. I am not long-sighted because I can't see far away. When I was younger, I remember that being a hard thing for not just other people, but I remember that being confusing for me. For some reason, I thought, but short sight, I got to wear glasses for short. But no. The whole point to the description, the whole point to the words, it's saying what you can see, and I could see short, so I was short sighted. Maybe I'll talk about this when someone actually shows up to the chat, so I'm not speaking to the void. Let's go depth of field, DOF. I'm gonna have to write the whole thing on I depth of field. So what does that term actually mean? Depth of field. Does it mean as the field's depth is getting further, you're causing an effect? But where's the whole meaning of the blur come in to that definition? We won't go into that at the moment. No one is coming. Where's the beard? What beard? My beard is still fully grown. What do you mean? Okay. Can I see a really strong depth of field? Oh, that's. I would say my vision looks like this background, but it's not quite that bad. It's closer to that. I can literally. Yes, it's not that bad. It's probably that. So you see that flower back here? Imagine that, but for your entire vision. You're boycotting. No. I'm sorry. I do a stream twice every week, and I failed this week. You trusted me, and I failed you. I always love it when you know what? I like how someone just said that from Play Plus. So I like how everyone always says I look handsome without a beard, and I always say to people, does that mean I don't look like I look ugly with a beard? And they have never got an idea on how to answer that question. They're like, no, you look fine with a beard. I was like, but I look better without. So we've got a tail in. I wanted to finish watching this video. That's why I haven't got music on. I'm listening to a video. You're ugly. I knew it. My hair's like... I'm getting lots of grey hairs. Then again, I've been getting grey hairs since I was like 16 years old. I don't know about you guys, but my grey hair started really early, but it's only ever been like a couple here and there. So I've got a mission on here now. So let me get this back over to Unreal and we'll see what it looks like. I don't know what I actually need in. I don't need clay. I don't need eye. Don't need hair. Don't need legs. Oh, you know what? I've remodeled the... Oh, I've got it in already. Nice. Legs and torso? I think it's just torso, but we'll do legs and torso. That should overwrite the ones in there. So axe the backpack. No, the backpack's going to come in, but the problem with the backpack is it's going to be an additional prop to the rig. So I'm going to have the backpack as a separate component that's going to be not animated separately. It'll be essentially socketed to a point on the spine. Spine. On the point of the spine, and then it'll be animated on that way. Because that makes the most sense, because it means I can add and remove accessories when I want them. Whereas if I have the backpack as a set in stone, it's always on the model, that means it has to be animated on the model, 100% of the time. I can't have it removed. So I'm going to have it separate and then socketed, rather than as attached by default. Does that make sense? Good question, sir. What is the difference between stylized and realistic models? Oh, okay. Well, I try to do an example for you. So... Now, I must say, I can probably get realistic stuff done to a more accurate degree than stylized. Because when I hear stylized, so my Canon, I think, was definitely in the right direction. I think this is probably one of my best stylized assets. But I still think I didn't quite go as ham as I should have gone here. Because when it comes to stylized, you tend to exaggerate. It's like cartoons, right? Like when you see that character get shocked at something, their eyes come out their head and their eyes go to like 5 times bigger than they actually are, right? You exaggerate sizes, you exaggerate... Animation's a big part to stylize, but obviously I'm not an animator. So I could have like definitely flared this out more, I could have flared the back out. When I say flared, I mean just sort of like expand that part out. I could have maybe squished in the center more here or pulled out the edges here. I could have definitely done a lot more to make it look stylized. That's why I don't necessarily think I'm that great at stylized still, because I tend to not do that. When I make something, I still tend to think of it at times as a realistic asset rather than an actual stylized. Like I'll look at it like, oh, I was gonna say, where are all my realistic stuff? I'll tend to look at it like making something like this, where it's all very rigid, right? It's all very flat surfaces, all very neat. And one big part is also symmetrical versus asymmetrical. When it comes to realism, you can get away with symmetrical. When it comes to stylized, you tend to need to be asymmetric, because you don't want one side looking identical to the other side, because it looks too neat. It looks too handmade. Where even though you're making something handmade and stylized, you tend to still want it to look a little bit off, because it gives you that like feel. If we look at some really nice stylized scenes, because these guys will demonstrate what I can't do. Damn, that's a cool looking scene. Everyone always just makes like... This isn't a bash. Everyone just makes like these exterior scenes, and the reason they look so nice but sometimes require less work is because it's foliage actors, right? So you can get 12 different foliage actors: trees, grass, flowers, rocks, pebbles, which are still rocks, tons of different freaking plants, bushes, and then and then you can set up splines like fences, right? I've basically just described the scene, and you get this. So it's like the hardest part is probably the terrain. Making the foliage is also hard. Don't get me wrong, but when you're making like, sorry, I'm getting a little bit tangent, the opposite direction. Oh, this is a really good example. So of what I'm trying to demonstrate. Oh, it's this guy. This guy's awesome. Oh no, I want to just see the end result. Right. So when making like interior, so if you break this down, look how many assets he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, that's one asset here, right? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. The door's probably 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The shelf probably 17. You've got the wires, which are probably a spline, but we'll say 18 for all of them. Probably the boxes, 19. So 19 plus, we've got some stuff up here too. Let's say 22 assets, right? When we compare that, I know this, again, this is a little bit going off on a tangent on what I was just saying, but it's still a very good example of why you tend to see a lot. Like I wrote stylized scene, and the instant ones I get quite a few exterior ones. Then again, this is really cool because obviously got buildings and stuff in it. Not like, again, you still have to be very good to make these look as good as these people do. But look how much room you have. Look how much environment you've developed. That's a really nice wee scene. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I love the tiny looking ones. Look how large that environment is. It looks like they've made more because the environment is significantly bigger than something like this, right? Does that make sense? So now, when it comes to stylized versus realistic, you're looking to make your assets exaggerated. So if we look at stuff, or simplistic, there's like a balance. You want to simplify how something looks because you're not going to have as much detail usually in something stylized, but you also want to exaggerate. And a really good example in this scene is the table. Look at these legs. They bow outwards, and then you've got a nice round table at the top. You've got huge handles. Look at these buttons. Look how big these buttons are. Look how big the microphone is. You're trying to exaggerate all the shapes you can. A big part is warping things and stretching them out. Like, if we were to make a fence, this is usually the example I do. So if we're making a normal fence, you'd probably just want to go something like this. I just read what you just wrote. Let me see if anyone's wrote anything in Twitch. They have not. So we're going to make a fence pillar, right? So you're making a fence pillar. Now, a big part when it comes to realism is also the... I find it discouraging when people cry for realism rather than something fun. Right? Right, Martin? I feel like that's why I push Stephen. He's going to mention my beard. I feel like that's why I push so much for stylized. I don't think I'm amazing when it comes to... realistic, but I definitely think I can achieve realism as well, but I still prefer just stylized because I feel like there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more artistic, like, artistic interpretations. So with a realistic fence, now this isn't the most realistic thing anyway, but you know what? That's fine. With realistic fence, you can tend to get away with having to duplicate and stuff. You can have some variation in it where you're like got maybe some holes, and you can, but it's all very rigid, right? I think that's the big part I'm trying to explain here. It's all very rigid. Yeah, there's a lot more freedom and stylized. When it comes to this kind of stuff I'm doing here, it's all like realism. It's all very rigid. Like if we go look at a fence in real life, yeah, let me go outside with a camera. So if we look at a fence, see what I mean? Coming up exactly what I was thinking. They all look very uniform. This is an even better example. Very uniform. If we were to try to replicate what that fence looks like, they're a bit more further apart. And then I'm going to basically show you an example of a stylized fence. So you tend to want them equally distanced apart, because when someone puts it together, they'll try to do that. In reality, they're a bit more, they're not as far apart as I've got them. Hold on a minute to do that again. So for those of you who don't know, so I should be doing this from the start, you can do something called an array in your Blender projects. If you want to make it so your thing duplicates across a distance, Go to here, click array. Wrong way. That way. Go like that. And then we could go wee. And we could do that. So make it somewhat central. And we've got that. If I want it to be less spread out, which I kind of do, go like something like this. 1.8. Whoops, that is not an 8. 1.8. Add another one. That's mostly there. And then we can add like a little back part on. Most realistic scenes go for the rundown look, so you can add a bit of... Yeah, that's true. That's very true. At least good artists do. Because obviously you'll get a... I say... Makes it sound like I'm ripping on ArcViz people. Because some people go in the ArcViz direction where things look extremely clean, which is also something that people find very visually appealing. Even though that tends to be a easier format to achieve. Because when something's clean, you can usually throw a tiling texture on it and just call it done. When something's like... when something's not clean, it's just a bit more awkward. And then they've got basically a post. Because you're like having to do foliage across it. You have to do mold. You having to do variation. It could take a lot longer to make something look dirty. And the problem with making something look dirty is somehow, even though you're putting something like griminess on it, it somehow will look more, look less realistic. Because if you don't achieve it properly, it just looks a bit odd. Actually, I feel like these are actually sort of going like this. So, look, you got, like, your fence, right? Oh, I just copied the top. Whoops. Right? Got your fence. And then if we were to convert that, combine that all, we can do a bevel if we want. It's fine. And then we can do, like, an array. And then if you're in engine, you'd admittedly... Oh, these are way too pointy, whatever. You'd admittedly do a spline, and then you could like pull them around to make it a whole fence track. I'm obviously not doing that in here. I could attach them to a curve, which will look similar. So if I were to go curve that way, 90 degrees. I think I could just go... Hold on a minute. There you go. I think I'll just go curve. I've done this loads of times, and I always forget how to set it up. Kind of. Oh, no, that looks about right. And then if I select these, go like this, go... It should always be automatic, in my opinion. I think automatic just looks significantly better. And then you can, like, start... Oh, am I on the wrong end? Oh, that's not good. How do I... do that? There you go. And then you could, like, pull it around to make a curved fence. That's not the right one. Oh, what? There's it. Obviously, we're doing -1. We'll get the right way. That's kind of right. There you go. Whee! I didn't realize I'd not had them straight. That's fine. That's fine. There you go. And you can make like a fence going around. So cool, very cool stuff, whatever. But this is like what you do for more of a realistic thing. It's more rigid. When you get the textures in, you would get it looking like wood, more like this, because it's simple. Well, again, I don't want to call it simple. It sounds like I'm bashing people who do realistic stuff. But when it comes to the actual modeling side, there's usually less involved, and there's more involved in the texturing side. Now, that can actually change quite drastically depending on how detailed you're making your stylized. So now, if we're trying to look at this from a more stylized perspective, let's get rid of these. What we would probably be looking to do now, I could write in fence stylized, and I always say use reference if you can. I'm gonna not show you guys this. I'm just gonna make it because I want you to see the example as it's being made. Pins and needles. Oh, so I can kind of keep this, but I need to change it a tad. We want it to be a bit thinner, a bit longer. Oh, where am I going here? Bit longer. This part itself definitely needs to be further down. Cool. And then this is a very important part to stylized, is you tend to have more deviation in the actual shape. You don't often have things going straight, so you'll do stuff like this to help give it a better look. I do want to make this... Oh, it's already thin. Because I'm duplicating it, I just want to pull this back first. Make it so it touches the fence. I then also don't need these parts, apparently. I want these parts to be very, very thin. Come down to here. I then want bit here, bit here. Then select both of these, and we bevel. Try that again. We bevel both of them like so. And then similar thing over here. Sort of try to make it random. I am terrible at making things look random. They tend to look a bit more manufactured than I want them to be. But that's just a practice thing. If you get good at it, you get good at it. So we probably, yeah, we wanna make the duplicates first. And we want it to be not equally spaced. We want it to be completely random. So I'm just dragging them all manually like that. We've got a thinner gap here, large gap here. That's cool. We're going to pull you out. We're going to pull you out. We're going to get some smoothing on you. We're going to drag you up to give you a bit longer. Pull you down. Now, you can keep it flat on this because obviously it's going to be thingied here and here. And I'll show you one other thing when we're done at the end as well. Cool. This one will make it, oops, we'll turn off soft select. Pull. Turn off soft selects. I just turned off one thing of soft selects. And that might be a little too wobbly. To be fair, one of them does look like that, but might be a little too much. It's fine. We're exaggerating it on purpose to give it a stylized look. Cool. Something like that. You want to start grabbing areas and making some parts taller, some parts shorter. Like that. I'm actually going to grab all of these and scale them up ever so slightly. I'm a bit thicker. Same with these parts here. I think they look a bit too thin. Even though they look thin on the concept, I think they're still too thin. And there's a big reason to why concept art is very, very important when it comes to stylized. Because you won't always get the feel for something unless you're looking at something that represents it. Like a concept art. So you can get like a bevel on this as well, like we had. Like so, we can do like an extra bevel to make the edges look a bit more curved. We can then put a weighted normal one with a smooth deformer, smoother, making your edges smooth and hard. Boom. And it'll make them look a bit softer. Like that. And there you go. If we get this to like the same sort of dimensions, we have a realistic and we have a stylized. Now, I kind of want to make these aligned and make the back of it come out a bit more. Like so, like that. And then you could do other small bits like you could manually set it like that, delete that, and then fill these in to get like your gaps in it. You know what I mean? You can just do. Now I like to add a actual division in between here with what I'm about to do, so we don't end up with n-gons. And then I'm going to do a cut like so. Now we're going to pull that in. And like I said, I think a big part... Now, you can always bake this down, admittedly. But a big part to stylize is the model. Because you want it to have all these, like, funky-looking shapes and everything as you're going along. You can even, like, do stuff like... Oh, it's not smooth. For some reason, I thought it was... I won't do that. For some reason, I thought it was smooth, like I had a bevel on it, but I do not. Yeah, and you can also make these parts look a little less sharp as they come up. But again, a big misconception with stylize. People will just assume stylize is lower poly because it's funky. It's not funky because it's cartoony and stuff like that, and they just assume there's less detail in cartoons. You tend to find, now it really depends on the asset, but when it comes to simplistic assets, you'll tend to find there are more polygons on a simple asset because they're trying to make the shape all mixed up and everything than a realistic one. Because look how simple this is, and then look how much more complex this has to be to make it look a bit more funky, right? Now, one other addition is when it comes to texturing on here, you'd probably get a circle, click it, and boom, you've got a nail in there, right? You can make one physically if you want, and you can have it bent and stuff. But most cases, again, with realism, you'd make it a real nail size, and at the end of the day, a real nail size is pretty small. You can have a kind of big head on a nail, but, you know, you're not going to be able to go too ham on it. You can just get your nails in, and again, you can pull them out, have them bent, and if I actually do make that part... I hope the person who asked for this recommendation is still watching, Because for some reason, when people ask me to explain something, they vanish, and I'm like, oh. And I end up just explaining it to a lot of people in the chat who already know the difference between something or how to do something, and I'm just like, oh, whoops. So I hope you're still here. So you can set the front, you can do a soft select, you can make sure turn off connectors only, and that will make it so I can actually like bend it from that point. And you can do like little bends and stuff. Now I want to make one duplicate and keep it to the side, because that one's going to be our one we're going to duplicate when we need it. So if we get all these on first, I can select them, do like a little bend, pull it in, bend. Now this is already kind of looking more stylized, making them a bit exaggerated like this, but I'm just sort of trying to show you kind of what you can do. Because at the end of the day, when you, I keep saying at the end of the day, when you push something in, you're going to have it pretty much flush. Which is something we're not going to do for the stylized. So that's a little bit stylized, but yeah, that's kind of where you'd go with a realistic nails. Now when it comes to stylized nails, we can exaggerate a lot. Let's get a much nicer. Oh, that is not got a transform in it. There you go. What's this sound of that? That's good. That's probably the right size. And Jesus Christ, where's my origin point? There you go. When you start putting these in, I can make them far out as I want. They're supposed to look like they've been like kind of hidden, like not fully. That's kind of the feel you want. Usually for stylized, we can have it bent as much as we want. Really exaggerate what we're going for. You can even have it double bend, like bend in another direction as you're going. If I could select the edge loop, something like that. So you give it like this. So it looks like it's kind of folding itself. Or you pull one out really far if we want. Now, technically, in a fence like this, because of the way it is, you'd probably need one. You'd need one in each individual. In fact, you'll probably have them at the front. But you don't need to have it super realistic. That's one huge benefit to doing stylized, is you don't need it to have realistic standards when making it. So it's like when people say to me, "Oh, Steve, is that to the right millimeter? Is that to the right dimensions?" That doesn't really scale up correctly. It's not supposed to scale up correctly. This fence is supposed to look 40% bigger than the character. It's supposed to not look right. That's the point. If you look at Banjo-Kazooie, if you look at Hat in Time, if you look at Ukulele, if you look at Mario 64, any Mario game, you'll see an item that clearly is not to the correct dimensions if it was in reality. One closer. Oh, I should have not done that, but there you go. And we've got these. And even then, because like I've said before, you don't tend to want to make things symmetrical. So we can also start selecting these heads and increasing and decreasing scale to make them look a bit different. And there you go. We've got this realistic fence over here. Kind of realistic. I love Banjo-Kazooie. Exactly. Banjo-Kazooie is a good game. I never played it, unfortunately. But I've watched people play it. Pikmin. Pikmin is a bad example. Because Pikmin is kind of realistic. If any of you have watched Pikmin or played it. I should put music on. I love Twitch chat. Oh, whoops. Sorry, that's because I full screen something on top of it. I don't know why it's doing that, though, because it used to be fine. There you go. What did you guys say? Oh my god, you said loads of stuff. What the heck? Enjoy yes, masherade. I enjoy cheese. What's this link? Oh, that's a lot of cheese. Look at that. Did he minimize Twitch chat? Probably. He doesn't like that. It's the fact that I'm not even minimizing it. I'm just popping a full screen sign on top of it. Apparently doesn't like it. Wasn't that plugin? No idea. 5 to Steven. Down 5p wasted. Now I'll starve. Rip. We can do whatever we want. We can start a revolt. Look at me. I'm the streamer now. Steve, can you show us how to read Twitch chat? I need a demonstration. Yeah, me too. We could invade. Cool. I'll try my best to not close the Twitch chat. I'm sorry. Well, I did close it. I just had to take on top of it. That's why I need a fourth monitor. That'd be very helpful. All right, music. Lo-fi. Again, I hope the person who asked for this question is still here. Who was it that asked? Play Plus. I hope Play Plus is still here. And they got experienced that long rundown of the difference between stylized and realistic. And like I said, a big part of it is just exaggerating shapes, making sure things are not symmetrical. To be fair, that's actually, if you watch Andrew Price, he'll also say the same thing with realism. You could make shorts. I could. But that was way too long for a short. He goes over, even in realism, you don't want things to be symmetrical. In realism, you don't want things to be aligned perfectly. When I place this into a scene, I prefer jeans. I mean, you could. You would not have it 90 degrees placed, right? Which is perfectly aligned 90 degrees. You just have it slightly offset, and then the next one could be slightly set, especially when you're sorting out splines, set back on. Because realistic stuff, in real life, things are not aligned. Things are not asymmetrical. No, things aren't symmetrical. Things are asymmetrical. Look at people, right? My left side isn't the same as my right, so you can even tell that with my hair. My hair parts to one side. Important lessons of Steve. Oh, I closed my other thing. Let's open the Unreal document with the guy in it. If it lets me. There you go. Oh, I'll give you guys a quick tip, actually. So, let me find a project I probably haven't cleared saves in. So, my Unreal Engine 4 version of Simpsons. Actually, no, we'll just go to the Unreal Engine 5 version. My Unreal Engine 5 version of Simpsons. So, if we go into the file for it, right, and we go into saves, or right-click saves, get properties, 1.97 gigabytes. All of this is just essentially backups, screenshots, some logs. None of this you actually need to run the project. So if you're, especially if you're trying to compress it down and hand it to somebody or upload it somewhere, you can delete this folder entirely. If you delete this folder and open the project, it will still run. It will still open up, right? This folder tends to get bigger and bigger the longer you have the project because it's got constant backups in it, even though I don't even know how to revert the backups. So if I were to actually go like this and we looked at everything but that folder, 4.52 gigabytes, and that folder is almost 2 gigabytes. It's about 40%, 45% of our file size right there. So we save a bunch of file size. So that's a quick tip for anyone who wants to reduce their overall file size. Just delete your saves or your saved folder in your project and you've saved a bunch of space. Right, let's open Hamlin, the Unreal Engine man. My coffee's almost cold. I feel cold. I played Entered the Backrooms, Survived the Backrooms. What was it called? There's so many backroom games, but the two big ones are Backroom, Escape the Backroom, and Inside the Backroom. I played Escape the Backroom. It was actually a really good time. I really found it funny with my friend because he'd played it before, and his definition of like what he considered a hint varied from puzzle to puzzle. Like sometimes he was like, I could give you guys a hint, and then he'd said a hint and it was basically explaining the entire puzzle. Then he'd go, okay, I'll give you guys a hint. If press left click, and it showed that there was a mechanic that none of us was aware of because a lot of we didn't assume that the item we picked up, because the item we picked up already did something. We didn't assume left clicking on it was actually going to do something. And I was like, I said to him, I find it funny that you think telling us that a mechanic exists is like a spoiler or a like ruining the puzzle. That's just telling us how it works. That's like telling someone space jumps. I was like, you could have told us that as soon as we picked it up. But he immediately said, well, I wanted to see you guys get lost before I told you. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. All right. So we've got all those stuff exported. We need to re-import him. No, I'm hoping he doesn't break when I re-import him. His textures will. That's fine. They're supposed to break because I've edited the mesh. Oh, did I? Oh, hold on a minute. Wait, what? Unreal exports. Is that the latest version of him? Oh, that's the one that's coming up here. Let's check. No. All right, if we go file export, what is it? Not file export. If we go Blender, we were to. We're not actually going to export him, but if. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Export FBX. He's called. Wait, that's not right. Wait. Wait, I know how to find out. Edit. Project settings. There you go. Where does it say we found him? Here we go. So what happens when you have several locations and stuff. I don't think there's several locations. I didn't realize there was a folder in the Unreal documents that was Hamlin. Did that get relocated when I import it? That's weird. Like, look. Hamlin, Unreal. Where is that? Oh, it's close to where that one is. Interesting. Which one is he? I shoots all hair, high poly, whole body with tail. Whole body with tail. It's got to be that one, right? Whole body, tail, no hair. Whole body with tail. So that again, it should mess things up. Specifically, his hair, not his hair, his ear hair and his tail hair, and his shorts, I think. So you guys come here often? Oh, my throat feels awful today. Jesus. I was feeling quite good last night. Wow, it takes people so long to react to posts on LinkedIn. Like every 3 to 4 days, I get someone else likes your post. Whereas on Twitter or anything, if you don't get any viewership in the first 24 hours, you just don't get viewership. Oh, I never remember which one. Change the material array to reflect the incoming FBX. Match one that fit. Keep the material consistent for the existing data. Oh, we'll try that. That's gonna break everything, isn't it? Oh, it broke a little bit. Oh, actually, no, it broke way more than I was thinking. Why is the hair also broken? Okay. So that's not worked. Hold on a minute. Oh wait, no, is it just giving his tail a random thingy it has? Yeah, it's fine. Hamlin head. Hamlin head. That should be good. Oh. No. No, that's also on his tail. I don't want his tail. I take that off. Can I reset that to Unreal default? Yes, I can. Just took a long time. Hamlin head. That's good. Hamlin legs. Wait. That's good, but why is it all one color? Eh? Was his legs on a separate UV channel? Was all this a separate UV channel? No. It is got a separate UV channel, but that's not being used for anything. Let me re-import it without that. Well, you know what? To something that Moderate asked me the other day. Oh my god, why is it running so slow? He asked me the other day about blocking out an engine. I did block out my entire boat scene in engine, but that's because the entire scene was a static mesh. So in that case, wow, my Unreal Engine is running like poo-poo all of a sudden. You good? Yeah. But yeah, that's because my entire scene was basically a static mesh. In that case, is a bit different. But I just wanted to say that because that's kind of important when I gave him advice the other day. Whole body with tail. How long does it take to actually export? Yeah. I don't know why it takes so long because the mesh isn't that complex. Like it's admittedly it's kind of complex. Oh, actually, 900,000 faces. Where's that come from? Wait, what? It's 8,000 when I go into edit mode. Is it smoothed? Oh, it's smooth, right? Because of the high poly. I'm an idiot. I don't want the high poly on it. Hey, yo, Steve, how is it going? Dijig. Dijig? Yeah, I don't. To be fair, I want it still on for when if I do ever need to re-export it, but I don't want it on for the hello poly export. That's my mistake. We went through the difference between stylized and realistic. Dijig? Dijig? You missed it. So that should export a lot faster now. Yeah, look, it's already done. Did I wonder if I imported that. No, I couldn't have done because my substance painted version isn't that high poly. I missed why, mate. Are you asking why you missed it, or because I did it before you were here? So that should re-import. Have you seen Hogwarts Legacy? I have. Apparently, people say it's amazing, but I always take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt because as one of my friends said, the reason it's so amazing, especially for him, is because he loves the Harry Potter series, and I'm okay with the Harry Potter series. They're not my favorite movies. They're okay. They're not even my favorite running movie series. That probably goes to Pirates of the Caribbean. Then it probably goes. It's a lot of movies that beat Harry Potter. I don't hate Harry Potter, but I'm not a big fan of it. It's really good, actually. It's like Souls like. Okay. Well, it's because he said a big reason because he said it's the best. He said he thinks it's the best game he's ever played, and I said to him, "Was well, that because it's based on Harry Potter, or is that because it's actually the best game you've ever played?" And he went, "Well, it's because I really like Harry Potter." And I was like, "I feel like that's a cheap way." No, don't get me wrong. The game's apparently amazing, but I think that's a cheap way to say a game's the best game ever. But maybe I'm too judgmental on that. It's like what it sounds like with guns should be. Ah, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, I probably like it. It sounds really good. But I hope you understand what I mean when I say I'm a little bit indifferent with my mate's opinion on it. So why is his leg still coming out as one color? Did they actually... Whoops. Yeah, look, they've clearly not got an unwrap. She's his first AAA game. Is it really? What's Legacy? Steam. Developers. Avalanche Software. Are you sure? Oh, wait, it's coming up Warner Brothers Games. Hold on a minute. That's not Avalanche Software. Did I click Publisher? Developer. Oh, does it not take me to like a developer any page? Well, now I'm even less. I read a few years ago where finding cats off the roof in that game. Really? I want to go to their page. I don't just want to go to Hogwarts Legacy. I want to. I want to know what the developers have made. Why is it so hard? Avalanche Studios, is it? Games. Well, no, this is different people. Isn't it? I'm well confused. I mean, on the wiki, when I write Avalanche Studio, they get a whole list of games. Avalanche Software. Oh, but I copy. Wait, I did write software. It's this one then. It's this wiki page. Are they soft? Well, I mean, I copied it from their Steam page. Hogwarts Legacy. Avalanche Software. And it comes up this. I mean, has it got Hogwarts? I mean, they seem to have made loads of games. Let's see which one would class as AAA. Dragon Ball Z. A Mortal Kombat game. They made Rampage. Oh, that's cool. Rampage was awesome. I don't know. I was expecting the studio to be super new when you said it was their first AAA game, but they seem to have made a handful of games. I mean, was Disney Infinity not considered AAA? Because that was a big deal for a while. We were selling all the figures in game. Um, profit, revenue. I mean, it earned $1 billion in revenue. I don't know. I feel like first AAA may not be entirely accurate, but it's still a very good feat from them. I'm not putting down not putting down their achievement. Considering Disney Infinity compared to something like Hogwarts is a very big leap in a game. So like so why is his trousers not working? Oh, because all this part's still where did the second UV channel come from? That's so strange. Wait. Oh, hold on a minute. It's called something different as well. Wait. Why are they all called different things? This happens in Maya as well. I end up with like channels just called something different, and then when you put them in somewhere, they like won't combine. Very frustrating. So if we copy this name, I want to keep them the same name because like, you can run into issues. Oh, whoops. Wait, where's the UV map? Okay, let's reopen. Don't save. Select the hair and select that. Make sure we're set to 0. Cool, we have. Where is the... There's the UVs. Okay, so why when I got rid of you... Okay, did I get rid of the wrong one? You're good. Get rid of you. You're not good. That's not how that should be unwrapped. There should be a... Wow, I'm surprised that doesn't look worse in substance. Yeah, they surprisingly look... Oh, is it just this part? Oh, no, you can see it. Wait, can you see it whopping? Which part is that? The belt. Wow, that belt looks surprisingly good considering that's not how you should unwrap it. You should unwrap it like that. You should need a... what would be the best place? Probably sitting behind here. You'd need a seam for it. And then you'd want to unwrap that. Let's do that. Okay. So that means we're going to have this floating belt in here now. Cool. Oh. There you go. Try to get it as big as we can in that small area, and then we do something like this. These are tiny. What is that? So we have a lot of space here we haven't got any use for. What is all this? Oh, right. Well, what's this then? Oh, right. Okay, that's fine. I mean, just to get used to this space, we'll give these a little bit more texture density. Don't do it individually, just do it scaled up. There you go. That right here. Pop this over here. Pop these over here. Again, you should try to keep things as much the same texture density as you can. But at the end of the day, there's wasted space, and I mean, we could set it on good pack and see how it packs, which isn't too bad. I hate that. Yeah, look, you go sound like a freaking Blender is very weird with that sometimes. The reason you don't want UVs on an edge is because... I'm going to Photoshop and show you. You know, talk about video games. I don't think there's a single video game I'm looking forward to. Not to say there isn't some really good ones coming out, but I'm not actively looking forward to anything. Okay, so we'll go really low resolution, like 32 by 32. So the reason you want to try to keep your UVs straight is because when you have straight UVs, your UV, like when it comes to the edge of them, when it comes to the edge of them, it'll be a nice clean cutoff in the UV. Like, let's say your UV was literally this square, right? You'll have this nice clean UV where it's aligning perfectly with the pixels. The problem when you have something that... Can I... Thank you. When it's like... Oh, it gives me a good example to showing this. Is you'll get these, like, cut off UVs. Like, you'll get, like... It's... Where the UV will be, it'll likely go across a pixel, right? So it'll go something like... It'll go something like this, because if it's straight, it'll go something like that. So you'll get this weird effect on your UV where you're fading in because it's coming. It's the edge of your pixel. So yeah, you tend to not want to have your UVs rotated because of this reason. It's kind of hard to explain, but I hope that makes it a little bit easy to understand. I saw it firsthand a lot at my company when I worked with a junior, because this junior kept... Because to her, she was like, but I get more UV space having it really big. When I have it, like, slanted, I have to shrink it down. And I was like, well, if you want to take up as much UV space as possible, then make more seams, or you just have to deal with the fact you've got to shrink down, because going diagonally, you'll usually just see worse results because of what I just showed you. Trying to think where this could go, maybe because I want it to be like straight. Is there any others on here like that now? And then I can start moving this manually. So I'm gonna have to obviously redo these textures or rebake them anyway in Substance. Big problem is getting this one somewhere. It's gonna have to go over here, right? And then these guys are gonna have to go over here. You know, talking about indie and AAA, what is the difference between indie and AAA? Is it company size? Is it the revenue the company earns? Or is it having to be a established company? Is that what AAA means? Like, if you were to make a company and have 1,000 developers, do you still count as indie because you're new and fresh? Or are you only indie when your team is considered a small amount that it's not considered a AAA studio? What is a AAA studio? So, yeah, like... Because there's a lot of different definitions you can find, so it's up to your own interpretation. But a mid-sized or major game publisher with a more... with a more robust development and marketing budget than other tiers of studio to produce usually high-selling retail AAA games. But you can be a new company and have those things. You can start up a company. You could be Elon Musk, start up a company and throw 200 billion at the company to hire an insane amount of employees, get tons of project managers to make sure it's all robust, I guess. I like that. Robust. Does robust mean what I think it means? Okay, it's robust. Strong and healthy. Yeah, I feel like that's not even true, because if you look at Rockstar, there was loads of people who came out that said basically it wasn't robust. Like, they were forced to do... I think it was on Red Dead Redemption. Oh, whack. We were working 100-hour weeks. Yeah, like, there was a lot of complaints and a lot about they were pushing them super hard and everything. Maybe that doesn't necessarily mean it's not robust, but I wouldn't call that a healthy work environment if you're being forced to work 100-hour weeks. Hopefully they were compensated for it. I don't know. Wait, what game was that on, actually? Was it GTA or was it Red Dead? Red Dead. Yeah, like, the term AAA is so odd. High budget, high profit games that are typically produced and distributed by large, well-known publisher. You see, that's another thing. Does it have to be if it's a well-known publisher, are you now considered AAA? Like, if my company, Sony, approached us and were like, we're gonna produce your game, kid. Are we now considered AAA because we were published by a big company? Like, was No Man's Sky published by Sony, or were they just helped by Sony, like give them some fundings? No Man's Sky? Steam. No, they were still published by themselves. So yeah, it's so odd what you'd call AAA because everywhere seems to have a different definition. You could always do a cut in here as well. I think when I first did the UVs for this, I just did them quickly, like, just sort of quick. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. So they're not amazing, but they do work. That's so much space being wasted. I'll improve them later. UV streams are boring. Anyone using AAA in the 90s? Well, yeah, that's because in the 90s, everything was just considered like a new thing, right? It's what I've said this argument, not argument. I've said this discussion before about like a AAA company back then was what we'd call indie now, right? When you look at games, let's say Banjo-Kazooie. This is when Banjo-Kazooie has a huge development team and proves me wrong, but Jesus Christ, if I can spell. I say spell, it's not really like, Kazooie. Where's Kazooie a word? Kazooie? Banjo-Kazooie, total dev team. Oh, okay, yeah, as I thought. 15 members. So even though you would have probably thought, who made Banjo-Kazooie? Rare. So most people probably consider Rare a AAA company now. But what the heck did I just do? But yeah, there were only 15 people making Banjo-Kazooie. And if we go like Mario 64 total dev team, I don't know about this one. 15 to 20 people. Again, you'd probably consider that an indie company today. That is not that many people if it depends if that's developers or if that's total, right? Because you can have a team of 20 and 8 of them be developer parts of the team. Like managers, producers, QA, what are some other non-developer tasks? I think that's basically it, right? And then the rest, programmers, animators, modelers, are considered the development department. So yeah, it depends if that's the development team. Because it says development team, so I assume that is the developers. I'm not sure, but yeah, that would be considered indie today, right? And it's why I say to people when they're like, AAA companies suck now and all of this, I'm like, well, they weren't AAA companies back in the day. They would have been considered indie companies. A AAA company now never existed. Like Red Dead Redemption total dev team. Jesus Christ. 1,600 people. You would have never had that years ago. You just wouldn't. And even if we look at some games that people keep telling me dev team is dev team size is an indie game. 130 people. Would you consider that indie at that point? Is like if indie has to be considered your total size of your company? It's a new company, don't get me wrong, but they clearly, not only did they have a lot of people, they clearly had a lot of funding. One, because they had to hire these people, and two, they literally had a trailer with Jensen Ackles. Jensen Ackles. Yeah, Jensen Ackles. Atomic Heart. Yeah, there you go. For those of you who didn't see the trailer. So, like, they were able to produce a trailer with a famous actor, and some people consider them an indie company. And I'm like, well, they clearly had a lot of funding. They had a lot of backing to be able to afford this, and they had a lot of people working on it. So at what point is it not an indie company anymore? Because there's not really a definite answer to what that means. Steve's deep dive into Indieverse AAA. I should just have these in a group whenever I want to hide them. That'd be way quicker. So we'll just export this. Again, I can improve the UVs, but it's a bit boring to see that on stream. Just spent 40 minutes in a traffic jam. Oh, I didn't hear my rant about AAA and Indie. I'm AAA. Oh. Oh, my. Oh, wait. Oh, hair high poly. That's no, we don't want a high poly. Whoops, I just export the wrong thing. That's fine. Let me re-export that just because I need to use it. All hair high poly is basically, as it says, it's all the hair components. So let's select all the hair components and fix that file. Oh, it's moved. It was in the middle. That's why I clicked it. All hair high poly. That's mean. So let's take a little bit longer because it's a much higher poly count. Yeah. Put it back to 0. Hair, body with tail. Whole body, sorry. Whole body with tail. Yes. Now I need to get that into substance. And it's going to break the everything below. And like he's not his torso. He's anything below the waist. So he's legs and feet. Because I just moved the UVs around. Cool. Everything seems to stay in the right place. It just needs to be rebaked, which is good. Lex. Yeah, that should be good. Cool. Wow, yeah, that bake's really good. We don't have any issues. Sweet. Cool. Now we want to export this back out. We're going to come into here, re-import this. Yeah, this is actually let me quickly check. So this is actually something I tried to talk to my boss about. Ah, that part's still broken. Why? Why? It's got another UV map. That's why. Stop. Why does everything have a separate UV map? It's so weird. Get out of here. Where did that come from? Where did it come from? Where did it go? What body of tail? Yay! Just quickly want to show you something to somebody. Oh, you heard me take a picture of something. You guys use Gyazo? Why am I... Look at the low FPS. UE4 hates my computer. UE5, sorry, hates my computer. Is it ruining my stream as well? It is. Let's turn down the quality then. And try to... Why? Nothing is going on in this scene. Oh, whoops. There, yes, to... Oh, and now it's fine. It does this all the time in UE5. It's like, I'm going to be super demanding for no reason. I know I'm using Lumen, but even then, it's... Like, I'm taking up 12 ms because of Lumen, probably. Yeah, indirect AO, which would be, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Lumen. So I get that. But at 11 ms, I shouldn't be dropping to what looked like 10 to 5 FPS. It's just UE4 decides it wants to run really slow at times, and I don't know why. Okay, so let's fix him up. Let's give him a fixer-upper. So, let's go into my actual textures. Is it all my content browser? It is. Let's just re-import all of those then. In fact, we won't even re-import all of them. What we're going to do is we're just going to... Oh, I can't click and drag. Because it'll... No, yeah, I can't click and drag. Okay, are you good? File Explorer? Oh, I need the URL, the file directory. We'll just do this, grab the file directory. Okay, that's all the textures we have. I actually should be combining a couple, but it's fine. UE is the worst for just randomly making your desktop hurt. Like, it's minimized, but it's... Yeah, right? It's so odd. Now, it doesn't work as bad... It doesn't run as bad when it's, like a packaged version, admittedly. But it still isn't very nice. When it's just like, here you go, have tons of less FPS for no reason. It's just like, oh, whoa, did you see the way that re-imported? Well, that was really cool. Okay, so if that re-imported, his legs should be fine. They've clearly just got the wrong texture on them. Isolate. His body's fine. His tail's not fine, but we need to put it separately. His head is fine. He's got legs on. Legs on. Legs. Did I re-export them yet or not? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's having to explain to people that some of your time when developing something will be doing stuff like this. It's like when you finish a model, and so it's like, oh, nice. When are you getting it like shown off and everything? It's like, oh, it's gonna take me like another day, huh? So I gotta set it up in a scene. I gotta attach everything. I get all the lighting working. I get composition working stuff. It takes all that extra time, and you've got to hope nothing breaks. What? Well, now I'm very confused because that should be good. I even re-imported Torso by accident. Hamlin legs. Is that re-importing the right thing? Have I got a different file directory for that? Where did I just export it from in here? Oh, it is a different file directory. Oh. Oh, right. Okay. So why don't I just delete everything there that I'm not using? And take that Hamlin folder, take everything out of there, pop it back into here, and then re-import them. Because then it should find all of them. No. It still didn't work. Hamlin legs. Re-import. Re-import new folder. Whole body with legs. Wait. With tail, legs. Legs. Export. Is the model different? Have I not re-imported the model? Am I stupid? Probably. Re-import. Well, this part looks fine. What is going on? Legs. Re-import. Re-import new folder. Legs. Are those socks? Socks? Not part. Socks and shoes. No, because you. What? Eh? Well, now I'm really confused. What else is broken? We'll fix those first as well. So we've got the hair that's broken. Looks fixed to me. I mean. This part's fine, right? And even this part, it's like the normals are wrong as well. Oh, I thought I fixed it then. It intentionally just adds it just intentionally adds charm. So what's the hair doing? What the dark doing? Wait, am I re-importing the right mesh? That might be it. Re-import new folder file. Oh, it's coming to here. Retail. And that's what this one's using, right? Project configuration. Retail. I did update the texture. You'll see. Look, when I re-import. Well, maybe it breaks here. We'll see. Yeah, because look, the model. I just re-imported the model, and I've already baked it, and then I already exported it separately. I already did an export, and that's legs. I mean, apparently the hair looks messed up as well, so we'll do that. Cool. So if we go legs, re-import, still broken. Is it broken in here and I'm just not paying attention? No, they look fine. And then the hair. Yeah, the light maps are separated out as a different channel, as it should be. What, in Substance? I mean, 2D mode is just going to look... Should look fine. Technically, the hair may have been able to be done in cars and just duplicate them, but then you won't have the correct ambient occlusion when they overlap each other. So I actually don't know if what's the better way to do the hair, but they all look fine. Admittedly, they should definitely be tighter packed for resolution purposes, but they look fine. It's very, very strange, because in here it looks perfectly fine. What about file export mesh? And we'll just go SM substance export Hamlin. Yes. Because now this definitely should break, because it's literally the one from Substance. Let me delete all the textures and reset them all back up. That's going to break a lot, but if we force it from scratch, you know what I mean? So, grab all the textures. You know what? Let me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the textures as well. We're going to reset everything. Oops. I'm going to reset everything. Delete them all from the folder as well and rebake. Yeah. You're right. Okay. We're going to go back a folder into here. Oops. Into here. Select there. Select everything. Whatever resolution they're at, they can always be optimized. Oh, they're all 4K. Definitely you don't need the eyes at 4K, but they can all be optimized later. I say that. Friggin' character creator, software designed to make characters, there must be options to optimize it. At a 4K eye, I'm pretty sure, when we imported it to Unreal Engine, I was like, my god. Cool. They should all be exploited now. Let's come into Unreal. When in doubt, reset everything. It's honestly quite a good way to go. There needs to be a command that makes all the ORM maps. Oh, they did not even come up as ORM. Okay, I got to manually do them then. Zoom in. Start leveling one at a time. So that's clear. So that's the eye cover. Whatever. T underscore Hamlin underscore eye. We'll call it coating or coat. Coating. Lens. Lens? Yeah. No, one word. I don't like doing that. Underscore Bella and then BC. So technically normal maps for these, it's not got anything, so I could just call that normal map. And head eye. Why is the torso like up here? What? So we call that T underscore blank normal BC. Why is it making it go out of my vision when I go to rename it? Come over. T underscore blank T underscore Hamlin IBC. I doesn't have any normals, which means I can reuse the blank one. Technically, that is a different ORM map because it's more shiny, so we'll keep that in. We want to go here, T underscore Hamlin BC. The hair does have normals. It should do anyway. I don't know how strong they are, but it should do. Oh. Didn't I have normals? Have I not baked the hair? Well, I will bake the hair in a bit, so that will replace that anyway. Because what the hair should look like... Yeah, like, they definitely don't have normals. What the hair should look like if I go bake... let's go find the hair. If I go bake hair... Turn that off. And then click bake. You go, you should get... Oh, is that working? We'll see. We'll see in the curvature, to be fair, because you'll see a stronger line coming down here. Not that line, that's the seam. Don't know. Did I export it without it having a high poly on it? Don't really need this 4K, but we're just doing it because we want it to be as high quality as possible. Oh, no, that definitely changed. You saw it, like, tighten up those edges. Oh, you are getting that issue there, though. So I should probably have the some of the values altered. Let's pop this to 2K. Have them a little bit lower. That's higher. Something like that. There you go, that's cleaner. Cool, and you get this like sharper line in there. And the hair, like hair on the ear should be sharper, and the tail should have some nicer detailing as well. Get me over there. Oh my god. If we turn it off and move. Oh, did I know the hair doesn't look like it? The tail hair doesn't look like it gets any better, but it's fine. All right, let's re-export just the hair out because we want. I may as well do that now while I'm sorting out the textures. Hair. T underscore Hamlin underscore hair underscore Set all three of those. Re-import. You can see. There we go. Oh my god! Look at all those normals. Woo! Cool. That's what we're looking for. I still don't know why the whole body and head, new eyes, torso is this high up all of a sudden. Whole body, head, T underscore, oops, Hamlin, head, BC. Whole body, what was that? Legs. T underscore, legs, BC. Remember to name your stuff. As much as I say I don't bother naming my layers and stuff, when it comes to naming my textures and whatnot, it's because when in the future I'm looking for something, I know at the very least I could write the word Hamlin in and find it under that tag. And if I know it's Hamlin eyes, or if I'm just looking for eyes, I can write eyes in and look for that tag. So naming an engine is super, super nice. Wait, didn't I just do legs? E. Yeah? Wait, was this not legs? Torso. Oh, whoops. Was that all of them? Did I look at all of them wrong? Torso. Torso. Whoops. Legs. Why did such a weird order? Why was legs there then? Torso, torso, torso. So is that right? Torso, 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 legs. Okay. That one, we'll just do that one while it's there. A, the alpha map? Or actually, I could have done O for opacity map. That's, oh, hold on a minute. I just did that invisible wrong. That's torso. And I had legs on my clipboard. Legs normal. Not sure if there's even any normals on the legs, but it's fine. Legs tail / tail hair, whatever you want to call it. We'll just say tail. Now, if these are all blank, so yeah, the tail should have hair, have normals on it. So I won't replace that with blank. It's going to be heartbreaking when you apply these materials and they still are broken. Don't say that. I was thinking that after renaming it. Like when I was naming it, I was like, oh, please don't be broken. Yeah, the torso one seemed to be randomly. That was so weird. Okay, now let's start. So do it in. So is the torso still torso? Yep. That's tail, which we haven't got one yet. That's head. That's legs. That's hair. That's eyes, and that should be the eye. So eyes and eye and lens are basically the same. Yeah, cool. Cool. That's all good. So let's start with the torso, which was the ones that was broken before. Wait, hold a minute. Which one was it? Legs, that one. Cool. Comes to here, and then all I should need to do is find where it says legs, and I should be able to just go boom. Why isn't that working? Boom. Boom. Is it because I haven't turned off sRGB? Oh, it's because the maps are broken in general. Right, okay. We'll just call this... So I'm on another screen right now. You'll see... I'll be able to fix it off screen. It's fine. blank. Normals. Blank. Basically, the material itself's broken, so I'm just thinking you got to fix the material before the instances will work. Aha! Okay, that looks good. That looks good. What was the difference? All I did was re-import everything. I don't understand. Unreal being Unreal right there. Like, I'm not crazy, right? That should have just worked by default. That's where we're gonna go. Boom. 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 Thank you. Boom. Now, to be fair, something I need to be doing is if I go to all the on maps, they're gonna have messed up sRGBs. So, or they're gonna have their sRGB turned on. Should I say? The normal comes up. I was like, what are those? So this is open this up. For those of you who don't know what I'm doing, I'll quickly show it on the actual monitor. So I'm double clicking them and I'm turning off the sRGB. Also, why is my minimize like? Yeah, I'm clicking and then I'm turning off that sRGB tag or that tick box because when you export from especially when you do a combine map, export from Substance Painter, you do not want sRGB. You just want RGB. Cool, that should be all good now. Sweet. So let's get back to torso. And I don't have a normal map for the torso for some reason. So I've clearly messed one of them up. So if we look at the normals, that's hair, head, legs, tail. Oh, I spelled torso wrong. That's why. Torso. There you go. Okay. Torso normals. Wait, why has he lost his... Wait, I wasn't looking. Why is his shorts randomly broken? Oh. Yeah. Am I getting like 0 FPS again? Why? Why? Unreal, please. Why are you being so annoying recently? Is it because I don't have a ray tracing card? It's only UE5, man. I never used to have these problems before. Cool. Yeah. Hey, look, chair. That should look pretty good. Yeah. Nice. Eyes. Eye lens. I haven't done tail yet. We'll do that in a minute. Eye lens. Did I not spell eye correctly? Where's the lens ones? What eye lens? Oh, because I made them blanks, didn't I? So like that, and the orm needs to be a blank orm, which I could just untick and it should give me that. Cool. Now you should have that lens. Jesus Christ, the FPS, please. You have that slight lens on his eye. You see that? Very, very faint, but he does have a lens. Please, Unreal, please. Why? No, look, 27. When? It was at 12 earlier. Render virtual shadow maps Why are the shadow maps? Why? You were running fine a second ago. If I look back over here and do what I did earlier, look at the sky. No, that's not the reason, moderate, because it was 12 ms earlier. Like, if I wait here for a bit, it will randomly jump back down. It does this all the time, and I don't know why. What does it say when I look over here? I mean, it's saying 8 ms when I just look over here, which there's nothing here except the bowl to render. I think it might just be Lumen right now. But Unreal Engine does this all the time, UE5. It's just like, I'm going to put you on no FPS for a bit and then randomly boost you out of nowhere. Lumen. If I set that to screen space. Let's see. It's nothing. And you know it's not textures as well because when you go into unlit, you're fine. If it was the textures, you still could be getting the performance issue and unlit. And it also says shadow map in the GPU profiler. But yeah, it's just so dumb. Because it will randomly be fine out of nowhere. Like, even if I delete the character. Yeah, but look, even if I delete the character, I know it's just the UE4 being stupid. Trust me, Mulder. Like the fact that I was at shadow map, like you could see in the profiler that it was the problem with the shadow map, which means it's to do with the lighting. But even with the character gone, I'm only just hitting 50 FPS, and if you look, I'm dropping to 30 randomly. If you just saw them, and if I undo, obviously, I'm not even that much difference. We're going to 40. I'm only losing 10 FPS of him gone. This is look. It's taking up 20. Why? Nothing's here, man. Even at 13 ms, we should be getting more FPS than that anyway. So stupid. UE5 is so frustrating to work with. Like I said, it will randomly jump up and not cause issues randomly at some point. I just don't know what causes it to happen. That's why most of the programmers at my work would just make that work at it at they'll just go on low. We don't use Lumen at work, I will say, because I do think that's a big reason to why it gets caused. Anyways, so I need the transparency for the bottles, which I should separate into a separate map. Because when you have something that has transparency in the Unreal Engine, I should go on low and medium during development, but the problem with that is I'm always afraid to hit medium because it recompiles all the shaders. As you can see, that. So now it's compiling a bunch of stuff. It has fixed the FPS issue despite compiling, and it doesn't even look that much different. These eyes look a bit weird though. The way it's not like rendering the transparency quite right. Wonder what is the biggest problem? Because my guess is going to be it's just like Lumen stuff. Like on high, are we good? On high, we're good. And it's compiling shaders while on high. And if we go to Epic... Yeah, it's something that's on Epic randomly. We'll just go shadows. Yeah, it's just the shadow maps. Like, I don't know what they're changing. They cause a insane drop in performance. Even though in shadow maps, shadow maps weren't really a thing. At least that's not what their terminology was in UE4. Try lowering anti-alias. Nah, it just seems to be the shadows. Look, we're at 80, which is good for Lumen. Lumen projects run slow anyway on a non-ray tracing card. Like, yeah, it's literally just the shadows. I don't know why. So why has one of his eyes gone darker? That wasn't like that before, was it? Nah, it has to be the lens, right? The lens is like dropping a shadow. Which one is the lens? Lens. We probably just want it to be unlit, right? Oh, it's still dropping a shadow. What? Oh. Interesting. Translucent. Was it doing that before? I don't remember seeing one of his eyes looking darker. It's not just a shadowing, is it? And I'm just like thinking it's... Ooh, what the heck? Can you spawn it in here, please? Maybe it's just preparing shaders because I'm not even getting... Oh, I am getting it. It's just really thingy. Weird. It might just be because we're preparing shaders now. Anyway, so that looks pretty good. We still need to get tail done, and we need to have this separate out. And then I want the actual liquids to be emissive. So if I go into not here, if I go into here, oh, I don't want to re-export them back out now. If I go into here, anything glass, I probably should have as a separate UV entirely. The reason for that is because they have to be a separate map anyway, because it doesn't like it when you like. I'll show you what it looks like when you try to. Have I got a map that shows transparency? Let me check. I must do, right? Because he's got here and here, right? So if you go into here and we go into torso and we turn on transparency. It just messes. Even though if you look at the transparency map, we actually have to drag it in separately. And let me write in torso here. So it should be attached to our albedo, right? So if I connect that to a multiply and start preview. Oh my god. Maybe not. Hold on a minute. That looks much different than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like that. Huh. Does it exploit it differently in the alpha channel? If that's the case, I might... Wait, in my master here, I might attach that to a round. Do that. Cool. So if I do that, his whole body goes invisible. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, it's just loading. Oh, it still breaks anyway. Yeah, you tend to you don't usually want a transparent object on something that isn't transparent, right? Like, that's basically the cut and dry of it. Even if you want a part of it to be transparent, you'll just usually set that as a separate material entirely. Like it's shown literally on just a very basic... Stop it. Okay. So if we go, create material, it might actually look fine on a basic cube. So I'm showing this. I don't know. Oh, because I selected that. Let's just do a very basic color. And we go opacity, and we'll make it 1. No, we'll make it 1. We'll make it completely opaque. That's what I'm going to show. Completely opaque. We'll even set it to the better transparency settings. Oh, you can make it have screen space. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I can't see what I'm looking for. Let me go down to it. Oh, let me set it to transparency first. Probably why it's not appearing. No, make it 1.2. No. What does that do? Surely it's clamped to 1, right? You'd assume so. Am I dumb? Oh, was it there? Yeah, it was here. There you go. So forward shading, the best one you can select. This allows it to have specular and everything. Apply. So if it's completely opaque, it should just look like this. Now, it might actually look fine for a cube. So I may be showing myself up here. No, you can already tell that's not... Wow, why are the shadows like black on it? Whoa. Yeah, you can already tell it has some weird issues when it thinks it's supposed to be transparent. And it will have even more issues. It's not attached to one mesh. Oh, it kind of does it here, though. It'll even have more issues when you overlay stuff. So that's why on a mesh that has opaque parts and transparent parts, you'll tend to want to be separate material elements entirely so they don't conflict with each other. Even though those parts are completely opaque, you're clearly getting these weird errors. It looks like I'm playing... You remember that game? Was it not Euclidean? Sorting issues, essentially. But you'd assume there wouldn't be they would have done something that wouldn't have anything to do with sorting if that part was set to opaque, and then as soon as it comes below the opaque mark, it would then go into that. Because Marmoset does it fine, but maybe it's more difficult than obviously I'm interpreting. There's a lot of stuff in Unreal that doesn't feel like it makes sense, but there's probably a very good reason why it's done like that. So yeah, if we want these bottles to be transparent, we should separate them into a separate material element, which means UV mapping again. Yay. Let's go torso. Let's not make it translucent and make it... Oh, not masked. Make it opaque. Masked will work, though. Masking is fine. If you want to mask certain areas, that's absolutely fine. So, That's looking pretty good. But we need to come into here, and I'm going to make these in general just a separate. I can optimize this a lot as well, by the way. This is, look how many polygons there are. This can be optimized so much, but we'll do that at a later date. Or I will do that at a later date. You guys will probably not even see me do that. I'm always making my blender run slow. You can see it like... Oh, am I being choppy as well? I'm a bit choppy. Hold on a minute. It's because it's compiling shaders. That's kind of an unlucky thing. What we can do to make it a bit better is just turn off shadows in here. There you go. Yeah, so we'll separate those out. We'll separate those out. We'll combine those and we'll give them a whole different material entirely, and we'll just call it glass. Glass. Is anything else on them supposed to be glass? Glass. Like that, and then we'll just go like that, and we'll go pack. Boom. And that's all our glass sorted into one map. What I should also do is now, because these areas are going to have a lot of empty space, like this, we should repack those. I'm not going to do that right now. We'll do that off stream, because that's boring. Cool. They don't have that applied. There you go. And we'll make it a very obvious color. Like we've got green for the hair. We'll make it a deep red. There you go. So we know what part's supposed to be transparent. Oh, itch. Itchy nose as well. Jesus. Cool. That's looking good. We need to get it back into substance. Maybe I should redo it all for getting it back into substance. I just don't want anything to break. So I don't want to right now. Whole body with tail. Yes. Come back into substance. Come back into here. Get project configuration. Go select. Body with tail open. Yes. Only the glass should break. Why is his body transparent? What the heck is going on? Ooh. Okay, so clearly in his torso, where I had it set up, where something is supposed to be transparent, it took that information and it threw it onto what wasn't there anymore. Because you'd think, because I didn't change the UVs, it would just have kept them in those UVs. But I think what Substance does is it goes, oh no, there's no more islands for me to select. Quick! And it just puts them somewhere else. So we just need to figure out. Again, this is why labeling your layers are good, but I just go down them like this, and I just see which one is enabling. Oh, what's that doing? Probably keep that on. See which one's just causing the transparency. Aha! All right, so the glass, yeah. Cool. So all of this is our glass. Wait, hold on a minute. I need this is our glass, right? Yeah, we can keep all that on. Cool. I need this. So that is our glass. Now go over to our glass. Your naming was great. Thank you. I know my naming's also always good. Hold on a minute. I just copied that. Why didn't it come in? I'll right click it and click copy to make sure. At least I got these named. You gotta give me credit for that. But that's not what I meant to click. I clearly did click that by accident. I'm not gonna blame the software. That was very likely me. Yeah, I want this one. I probably just clicked the one that had an eye on it because I thought that was the right one. And turn it on. There you go. But we just want to go white on all. Oh, that part's all set. I need to fix that in a minute. And then we want to turn on transparency. Like that. And now we've got our glass. And we want to bake all the maps so they actually have. We don't need the high poly for these. We can just bake it with the low poly because we just want the shadowing and stuff in it. Like the ambient occlusion and whatnot. Cool. There you go. Now, it doesn't look as great in here. It should. Hold on a minute. Oh, the colors of those also disappear. Oh, they did. So I've got to fix a couple of things, unfortunately. Oh, wait, no. I probably don't. It's probably just because I hid them, right? Because I was trying to look at which one it was. Yeah, we're cool. Sweet. Oh, they're slightly transparent as well. You can see through them. Huh. I don't think there is a transparency on them. No, there's not. It's just how they're baked. Well, these ones aren't transparent, though. Hold on a minute. I don't mind them being transparent, admittedly. But it's just a bit weird that these ones are. Even though they're sharing the same. Oh, no, it's just glass, isn't it? Oh, well. It's fine. Okay, that's good. We've got an invisible belt, so we need to fix all that. So we go... God, I need some more room here. Legs. I feel like today's just been a whole lot of nothing. A lot of the work was like busy work we're doing, but it's kind of stuff I have to do. It should be this one, yeah? No, it's not. It's in a different spot in this one. Oh no, I've doomed myself. Oh, it's that one. Got it. Cool. Now that should be good. We need to re-export all the textures. So it's going to have an additional texture. I don't need to re-export all the textures, just the glass, right? Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, it doesn't need to be 4K, but whatever. Again, I will... When I come to a finishing point, I will actually optimize it down and make it a game purpose model. Right now, you could use it for a game, but it's quite high poly errors, and obviously 4K textures spread across the whole thing is quite high. Oh, that's another thing. If you were having textures, too many textures, you'd have seen the texture pool issue, because it would be rendering too much resolution, too many textures at the same time. So that's a good indicator if you've got too high textures in the scene. And then I'll export the mesh as well, because it's I don't want to triangulate. Why is it keep resetting that? It gets triangulated anyway in Engine, but I want, just in case I ever want to take this model, the Substance Painter 1, into Blender, it will now at least be not triangulated when I bring it in. That makes sense? Because it will triangulate anyway when I bring it into here. It's still doing shader stuff. Yeah, that's why I don't like setting to... Because even though there's like barely anything in the scene, I think what it does is it takes all of the engine side materials and recompiles all of those, even though they might not even be in the scene. So we'll re-import you. It doesn't really matter what order I do. You'll see something break regardless, I think. Now, I get confused here because I don't know if I'm supposed to reset or click done. I think it's reset. Yeah, that looked good. What material have they got on it, though? That's interesting. Oh, it's got the eye on it. That's very interesting. Okay, so we want to create a new one. Legs glass. Okay, we got one that was supposed to be for glass. I was trying to clearly separate out in a separate way, but now we've just got glass all in one material. Glass, that's fine. Let's come into him. And he's one of these, so I highlight them. It's that one. So now that should change, yep. And now if we come into here, and we reselect all its albedos and everything, can we go... Oh, yes. Oh, I haven't put in the the textures yet. Glass. Eyeglass. Yeah. There we go. D_Hamling glass. I can't see what that one is. I think it's the end because it looks like the occlusion is next to it. That's the occlusion. Will it not load these until... Oh, there you go. I was going to say until the shaders are loaded, because that's interesting if that's how it worked. Okay, so... Wait, I just wrote Hamlin. I'm an idiot. I need glass on there. I did call one of them glass, right? Yeah, Hamlin glass. Oh no, where's the other Hamlin gone? Hamlin, come back. Blame it all on me. Oh, God. Hamlin _ Oh. What was it? Head, leg. Ah, there. Oh, it's the normal map. Glass. Oh, it doesn't even need that. It could just be left blank anyway. So we'll just delete that. Repurpose where you can. If you're using a normal map that doesn't have normals on it for like everything, just use one blank normal map for all of it. That's if you've got a master material. You can also have your master material connected up to a switch to then just turn off your normal map. But a lot of projects I seem to find just have a blank version of it. So they'll just replace the texture with a blank version of the normal map to keep them, you know, flat normals. Glass. Cool. So all we've got to do is revert one of them back to the blank one. which is the normal map. The glass clearly has some different reflection or opacity. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's fine. Make sure it's double clicking it and turn off its sRGBs. And then go into the base color, put in that glass. Cool. So now it's completely transparent because I selected a round earlier. Let's take off that round. There you go. There you go. We've got some glass. Now it's quite dark, weirdly enough. And what's that light? Oh, it's just a reflection. Maybe when the shaders are completely compiled, we won't see it. Because as you can see, that's causing on this eye as well, but not causing on this one. It's interesting. Looks great. Thank you. Thank you. You look great. So something else we want to do is we got emission now, right? If you're using master materials or a master material, you basically want it set up so you can have everything. Now, something that I've not really shown in the past is if you've got an instance, right? So my master is doesn't have opacity set up, right? You can see it sticked on there, but it's not turned on. Now, I can prepare it for if it needs to be turned on by briefly turning it on. Coming down to what I want, turn on forward shading, and then swapping back to opaque, and it's disabled. But when you go into your instance, you can come into your instance, and this menu here is sometimes like minimized like this. You want material property overrides, yep. Turn on your blend mode, and then you can select it there. And it should, because I think it should have its, yeah, you can see, look, it's definitely got shine on it. See that? So because I set it to forward shading, it will automatically have that enabled when I can, like, override it to be transparent. It seems like a little trick, I guess, because it won't let you change your transparency settings if it's not transparent, even though you might, like I've shown, use that transparency for a instance that will get it turned on. See, I get why they don't let you change it, because technically this material isn't using transparency, but you'd think they'd still let you change it despite being grayed out because of the purpose of using it for an instance. It's a bit weird. Anyways, we want emission now. So we need a blank emission or emissive map first, because we're going to need to swap out the emissive map with another. Now, again, you can use a switch, but if you use a switch, you need one by default, and if your one by default has emission lights on it, it might mess things up. So we'll quickly make a default one. We'll just do it like freaking... I'm going to go a 4x4 texture. There you go. 4x4. It's going to take up like no space. I don't know why I didn't want to use 1x1 or 2x2. For some reason, I feel like that's going to break. I don't know why, but T_blank E. Save. Yes. Coming to here. Oh, did I just save that as a Photoshop instead of a PNG? No, I saved it as PNG. Sweet. So we're going to drag that in, go back into our material. Drag that in. Waste. I know, I should have done them 1x1. How much space are we taking up with a 4x4? We're taking up 1.3 kilobytes. Oh. 4x4, ridiculous. I want to make... Have you seen those scenes where they use... it's like PS1 graphics, and they use 256 by 256, and they basically use it as a atlas. And they texture everything on this one atlas. I think that'd be really fun. Although, how do you... If you have a texture sheet... I feel like this is a simple answer and it's not crossing my mind. Get in there. So if we had a 256 by 256, and we've got like one area here, and let's say this is brick. One area here. There should technically be like kind of equal, like just right width and everything, so you get as much as you can out of them. But if we were doing this, and then let's say down here we had one big one, just so it saves me time having to paint all of them in. How do you make it so if I want to atlas here, I slap my material on there, and then I want it to tile just that area? Because if you go to tile, it's going to start dragging it across these surfaces, giving you those, right? Is there not a way to make it so I can put my UVs here? Because on the trim sheet, you just have it so it's like it tiles perfectly left and right, so you don't need to worry about it. You can't. Is there actually not a way to do that? Really? That actually kind of surprises me. I totally thought there'd be a way to do that. That's a shame. So yeah, I guess if you are just using a brick texture, you just have to. Not that I know of. Maybe there is. Maybe I can look it up. But if there isn't, I guess if you want something to have a bit more resolution because it's a bigger surface, you just separate that into a couple of UV squares that use the same spot, and that makes it give the illusion like it's tiling, right? Because it will do the same thing. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Anyways, blank. Perfect. So what we want to do is connect that up to a multiply, because we can... So the reason I keep putting in the wrong node is because if you used to drag out and write MUL, you used to get a multiply node. Now they've added an mul M4V4 node. Don't know what it does. So when I press enter, it uses that. So I've got to put a T in and then press enter. What's a multiply add, by the way? I've seen that for years and I have no idea. Multiply add. Does it add and multiply at the same time? Oh, there's so many different ways to do trim sheets. Like I said before, I know how to do a trim sheet. I just don't know how to implement them. Because the idea, at least the basic one, is obviously you just want it to tile from left to right. Right? If you're not doing that, you're doing like a sheet where it's loads of bolts definitely plastered across it, some textures. That's usually called a atlas. Trims is obviously in the name a trim. And that usually means you can tile it from left to right indefinitely. But not up and down because that's where your other trims come in. But I just have a hard time. Like, the only time I can think to use them is on a flat surface that is a trim. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I'll just use it as a trim. And I'm like... And every other video I tend to see, they use it on like a circular centerpiece. Even in the... What video was it called? The Last of Us. Even in the Last of Us creation video, he used a trim sheet for an object. And the object he showed it on was a circular centerpiece that I've seen so many times from my videos. And maybe it's just because it's a really good example to use, and they do use it for other things. That's where I always see it used. I'm like, I know people make entire maps with atlases and trim sheets. I really just want to work out how they do it. So we go emission. That's double I by accident. Oh, God. Mesh color. Apply. Okay, so now everything will have an emission on it, but unlike translucent, it doesn't break anything just because it has translucent, just because it has emission on it. So now I want these parts to emit light. So we should have some emission maps I dragged in. So we got legs. Oh, wait, I missed out a crucial step. Right click. No, not texture object. Right click, convert to parameter, and we go emission texture, whatever you want to call it. Apply. Cool. Let's file save what we got so far. But people who use trim sheets and atlases really effectively, I bow down to them. That is so creative. Because they not only will they do that, they'll also use modulated assets extremely well. And they'll make like an entire scene with like 12 assets, one trim sheet, one atlas, and I'm just like... And it looks like an entire environment. I'm like... Sometimes not even like 12 meshes, sometimes like 5. And I'm just like, how did you do that? That is so cool. Something I've always wanted to do, but it takes a lot of time investment to get good at it. And I want to invest my time getting better at 3D modeling in general. You know what I mean? Like, I want to invest my time into something that, well, especially that I already have a job doing and getting better at, then something that it would still be very useful for my job, but I don't necessarily need it right now. So it's really hard to push myself to put time into it. So this won't do anything right now. So we need to go into here. So legs, yeah, we got 4 legs. We got 4 legs. I'm going to pull this off screen. I'm going to write in legs. And we're going to drag the emission onto there. So if I go boom, it still won't do anything when you turn up the emission number. So if I make it 50, we're on the legs, so you won't see that. Hold on a minute. No, why aren't you glowing? Is it because they're inside a surface? If I like see it inside, will I see them glow? No. Hold on a minute. I'm on the wrong thingy. I'm on glass. That ain't right. Whoops. My bad. My bad. Wrong one. I'm supposed to be on legs. There you go. Boom. Look at the legs. and make it 50. Heck yeah. Wow, that really doesn't glow as much as I thought it would. It does obviously want to turn it up. So if we want it to glow a little bit, wow, that's what 10 looks like. Is it because it's behind glass? If I go inside it, no, it's just that weak. Interesting. So 50? Yeah, 50 is probably pretty good. I mean, if you actually want a proper glow, you need like 500. 100 would kind of get a glow. 250 would get a glow. But then it just kind of looks like it's unlit. I mean, which technically it is, because that's what an emission kind of does. Or if you have it really high, because it's lumen, we'll actually get light bleed. What about 500 then? Depends. Do we think that looks good? It's like an awesome tool to have, but at the same time would be such a pain to get good at. Yeah, right? That's the way I look at it. I'm just like, it's so cool. And if you do get good at it, think how much time you'd save. Because you could just make a lot of stuff with trim sheets and atlases. But yeah, it's definitely, it's very impressive. That's all I can say. It's very, very impressive. So does it just make it look unlit, or does that actually look interesting? Like he's got these glowing. I mean, one problem here is obviously these should be flat. I do have a tool somewhere, a plugin somewhere that does do water. I wonder if there's a way I can learn to do the material for that makes them render looking like a flat surface. Or if that would require programming. I'm not sure. You know what would be cool? Add a random mask texture to the material and have it pan, and the liquid would glow in parts, sort of move, kind of like lava. Oh! Do you think I should just do like a noise across it then? And have it so there's like certain bits that do it? Or make it look bubbly? That's a good idea. That's definitely more interesting. Yeah, and you can mask it out using the color map. Wow, look at the... What's causing us to drop frames by going... Wait, it's like specifically... Oh, it's only when I move. When I move, I'm losing a ton of frames. Woo. That's weird. I mean, I do have another window open, so it should be fast like that. So his eye's still dark. I don't think his eye used to be dark, did it? The lens is like casting a weird shadow. Or am I just crazy? That looks fine there. Is it just the direction of the light? Wait, I don't even see the lens in that eye. Hold on a minute. Oh, I don't see the lens in that eye either. Wait. What is going on? The lens worked before, did it not? Immediately, you could just make the eye shiny and you wouldn't need a lens, but someone recommended it when I was making the model. So for some reason, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Why is the lens invisible? Hamlin eye lens, BC, this one. So this one should have... Yeah, a basic color. Oh, wait, whoops, wrong one. Yeah. Like, look. That's what the alpha part should look like, which is a grey, which means it should be partially transparent. So when that becomes an instance, you can kind of see it here. Maybe it's because I've set it to unlit. Let's go back to default. Oh, yeah, you can see it now. Oh, kind of. You can definitely see it. Why is it dark here then? It is just because of that, because of the lighting angle. It looks weird though, right? It looks like one eye slightly darker. Where's my lighting right now? Oh, it looks like the eyes are glowing. Very interesting. Oh, hold on a minute. I've got something definitely wrong here. It's got to be that. Yeah, they definitely... Is there a light there? They definitely look like they're glowing. Oh, I know. Wait, my normals are messed up. Normal. There you go. See, there definitely was something wrong there. There we go. That looks good now. I put the on map in the normal map, so it was rendering my normals in the... It was a red texture, so I guess in the X direction. There you go. So you should have the lens on it now. Should I make the lens a bit thicker, like a bit more transparent, a bit more opaque? I always find it funny. No matter who, like, I seem to hear it so often where people use the term opaque to mean transparent. So they'll say, I don't know if I've talked about this before on chat, but they'll say, oh, yeah, that's opaque, and they'll be pointing at like a pane of glass. And I'm like, don't you mean transparent? Like, because as a 3D artist, they're literally... I know in real life they're the opposite thing as well, but it's very important to distinguish the difference. If you tell me, oh, make that glass pretty opaque, I'm going to assume you mean you don't want to be able to see through it very much. So if I go like that, you'll have this completely thingy, and then turn it up. So we'll have the lens very slightly like that, so that we can see it a bit more. It makes the eyes a little bit more reflective. I think I want to change the albedo color slightly as well, so it's up and multiply. I blame Photoshop. Oh, is it the opposite of Photoshop? Is that why? That'd make a lot of sense. Brightness. We're just doing a little bit of finessing right now, because changing the eye lens is a very, very specific thing to be changing. Oh, whoops. There you go. So I think I want that a little bit brighter. So if you look, when it's brighter, see that? As I turn that up to more of a white value, it does this. It will make the eyes look a bit brighter. When it's defaulted, it gets a bit darker. So I think I want like a 2. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. No, but the settings is called opacity, so everyone thinks transparency is opacity. Oh, when it's actually the opposite, they should have called it transparency. See, to be fair, right? So there's something that confused a lot of people, even myself, back in university, because for quite some time, because roughness, for quite some time, for some reason, I thought turning the value up would make it shinier. Because one, for some reason, mentally to me and a lot of other people, meant it should be shinier. But if you think of the wording, you shouldn't mess up at all. Same with opacity, right? Roughness. If you have the value of 0, that means it is not rough. You are not adding any rough. If you have it to the value of 1, that means you are adding all, because 1's the highest, obviously. You're adding all the roughness. It is completely rough. Same with opacity. At 0, it means there is no opacity, or it's not opaque at all, meaning it is transparent, meaning you can see through it. Then at the value of 1, it is completely opaque, means you can't see through it at all. That my friend who I work with said that in a moment. Went, yeah, you really helped me when you explained it like that. Well, he didn't quite say it like that, but he's like, because, yeah, you're right. If you just figure the wording, it makes sense. But it does throw you off. I mean, in other software, it's called a gloss map, and it is literally reverse. It does the exact same thing, but the value of 1 is how glossy it is. And then before that was a specular map, which also was reverted. But specular map does something a little different to roughness. I don't know the exact difference, but I know it is. But yeah, you're right. I definitely should have like a bubbly nature of this. I think what we should also do, yeah, definitely. We should make it so there's like a Fresnel on it. So more in the center, it glows more. And on the edges, it glows a little less, because that's where it's more condensed, or more, there's more volume of it, because it's circular. So if we get a... I say Fresnel. Someone else I met says Fresnel, and I was like, yeah, it's Fresnel. I'm pretty sure, right? We've had this conversation so many times. Fresnel pronunciation. Oh, hold on a minute. Only in American pronunciation, in British pronunciation, it's Fresno. Boom. Heck yeah. You know what one I got? So when I see the word wall, or with a Z with an S at the end, walls, people are like, walls, you're pronouncing it with a W, walls. Well, first of all, I'm not saying wows, I'm saying walls. But I know what they mean. It sounds like I am putting a W in it. But watch what happens when I look at the pronunciation for walls. I was like, heck yeah. Even Google says it the same way I do. Walls. Google's got my back recently when it comes to pronunciation. Hot damn. I say W-A. What owls? What do you mean were then alls? Like saying the word all, but with a W at the start. So were alls, walls instead of walls. I know there's not much of a difference in how I just pronounce that, but less O, more A. Oh, wait, someone like wows. Wows? Do you see wows? I mean, that's fair enough, but not quite A-O. Oh, okay, so more of an in-between. I don't think I could replicate that, to be fair. So... do that 0. Do we want to multiply it by it? I'm trying to think now. Let's do this quick so I can see what it looks like. So the edge gets brighter in this scenario if we clamp it as well. Actually, it doesn't need a clamp, I don't think. So we want the edge... no, we want the edge to get darker. So if we do this, and then this, you'll have the center bright and the edge dark. Yes. But I don't want the edge completely dark. Right? So I need to add a value to it. Like, at most, I want it to be like a 0.3, maybe? So that way... oh, right, we're inverting it. Whoops. I need to do the reverse. I need to do it here. It's like a 0.3. So that way the edges aren't completely white, and the center is above the value of 1, so it makes it brighter. And then you could actually power this and multiply this to adjust it more, but we'll see what this looks like to begin with. Oh, wait. Let's have a look. Okay, so that doesn't look much different. So we will use a power. I'm going to do only an addition of 0.2. And we're going to then attach that to a power or a multiply. It doesn't matter. The reason... I can't remember what power does, but basically does the same thing. So using a multiply, if something was a 0.2 value and something was a 1 value, timesing that 1 value by 10 is going to make it 10. And multiplying that 0.2 value is going to make it 2. So that's a range of 8 now instead of just 0.8, right? So it's almost like doing the opposite of a contrast. Instead of bringing it in, you're expanding that value out more. Does that make sense? I keep saying that today. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So the center should get brighter, while the edge should get a little darker. Still didn't work very well. Let's set it to 0. I might have to change the actual angle to... how do you say that word? Exponent? Or is that... I don't know. Oh, so that... yeah, look, you can see. It's almost as if it's got a freaking... a black line on the edge. So we want to definitely adjust that. I think you make the value lower. Lower. Too low. Lower. Yeah. See that? So now we've got this like darker interior of the edge. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That already looks significantly more interesting. So doing the same on this? You don't quite see it on this as much, right? So that's adding 0. So that's making the edge actually completely black. I think I want to add a very, very subtle... because I don't want it to be completely black. That should slightly lighten that. I hate that it makes the glass disappear, because then I got to wait for that. That's... oh, I did that way too low. Hold on a minute. I did 0.005. That's way too low. Yeah, more like that. There you go. And we could also change the color in a way. if I do a hue shift on that for now, how would I do that? I'm trying to figure the best way to do it. Do I do a hue shift first? Wait. No. I need to set that up separately. So the hue shift will need to be divided by a pretty big number. Like this, is that right? Whoa! Sheesh! Why did the hue shift do that? Hold on a minute. That's not what I thought would happen. Wait, I'm really confused now. What's going on? Okay, that's fine. Oh, I plugged it into the wrong part. Here? There you go. Oh, you see that? See that? So we get a different like tint of the color as you get to the center. In fact, the color looks more saturated as it gets to the center. You see it mostly in the green, weirdly enough. Same up here. Oh, whoa. That one changes to pink. That looks a bit more interesting, right? Like you get like a different sort of glow towards the middle. Now, I think what I want to do... I'm going to do two things here. Switch between windows, what you want to see me doing it. Is that what you mean? Set to 1, because that's what I have it as default at the moment. Set this to hue shift. Rob Scottle. Looks like, what? What? Is it green colored fizzy drink where the bubbles go down instead of up? Oh my goodness, a Big Friendly Giant thing. I've never read or... Is there a movie with the Big Friendly Giant? Okay, so let's get them down here first. That one looks pretty good, annoyingly, because I want to make them all all work, but that one looks like the best. Let's go legs. No, not legs. I mean, I don't know what you meant by read up more. Sorry. That's kind of why I didn't acknowledge it. No. Wait. Oh yeah, they are separate. Hold on a minute. Oh, so I can change the color of them. I'm thinking of the glass. The glass isn't separate, but I can change this. So we expo. We should. You see that? Should be able to bring that in and out. Whoa! Whoa! Look at the big block of text you posted. Did I miss it? I'll read up more in chat. Right. I mean, if you stopped typing so much, I mean, I don't want you to stop typing so much. I like having someone to talk to while I stream. I don't know if you could do it in 5, but I'm pretty sure if you select the model in the editor, then open the material window, you could replace the sphere with the actual model. Oh, yeah, you can do that. I never do it. There's a reason for it, but I never do it. If you just go into it like here, and then you go to this one. Oh, I got to select it. Like that. Maybe that's why, because it applies the material across the whole thing. So if you've got something with separate elements, it kind of messes it up. I don't know. There was a reason why I rarely do that. And I just look at it in editor. Oh, look how much they're glowing in here. Yeah, I guess it's just, for me, better anyway in the editor. Even if it worked perfectly in there, you have a different lighting setup in there, right? So having it match your lighting setup just feels like it's more appropriate. Oh, bugger, he's in here now. Get out of here. Oh, wait, so we want torso. Sorry, legs. Legs, not torso. I'm on legs. Cool. So, let's actually not... Okay, that looks so cool. So we probably want it to be a bit more like that, right? And then if I go to the actual hue shift, we should be able to change how much it's shifting in color. Oh, whoa. And if you invert that, you also get the same effect. That is not working as much as I thought it was at all. Okay, maybe we should be dividing the hue then. Maybe we should be adding? I feel like that's not going to work the way I think it is going to, but we'll have a check. Or multiplying. No, multiplying shouldn't work. So that's not going to look right for a second. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, see, that's the problem not having the divide is I'm not bringing those colors together. So maybe what I want to do is divide first with a set value to make it so they're a closer together value that we're looking for. Oh, no, because then you'd be dividing the add. So that wouldn't work. We basically... No, as long as we're adding afterwards, that's fine. Yeah, as long as we're adding afterwards, that's fine. Because you want to divide by 5, so it goes to like a 0.1, and then we can adjust that value to between 0.1 to 1 to change that color. So I should be able to select the hue shift to 0, and it should naturally have a color difference. And then I should be able to come into here, into here. And then I should be able to now change that hue shift between the values of 1 and 0, right? And it should, yeah, look, change that color to what I want. So it should be setting on a hue graph or whatever you want to call it, like the palette, like where you pick your colors. The difference, if you went from top left, top right, the difference in the hue should now be, if it's like this wide, it should only be like here now. So that way, when we if we shift that, we're making that a wider gap. But by default, it's close. So if we want to do something like that, or if we want to go to reverse and do something like that's pretty cool. But I don't know if that's just too different. Because the hue shift for the green's so intense, whereas the pink, you can barely see it. It's reading chat just in case I miss something. So I could also go that direction where it's making the edge more blue-purpley. But I think we want to change the expo a little bit. If we do that... hue shift. Ooh. So I think I like the green, but I don't like how sharp that is. Oh, that's the wrong direction. I want it to... Wait. Oh, that is expo. I want it to be more of a smoother transition, more like that. Right? So you get a green edge, maybe a little bit tighter. A turquoisey edge with a green in between and a yellow in the middle. And again, you can't see it as much of these colors, which is a shame. And we should see a similar thing up here. Wait, no, we shouldn't, because we're not changing the entire thing up here yet. So that's a different material, which is the torso. So if we set up the same settings in here, emissions fine, expo needs to be 3.2, and then the hue shift needs to be minus 0.042, Woodlina. Ah. Wow, they are so saturated in color compared to those guys. So you can see it like sharpening that the expo. So we do something like that, that looks good. And if we change the hue shift to what we want, so I think more around there. And again, we can have the bubbly effect in there as well. I don't know if they are too saturated. Is it just because they're emitting more light? I don't think so. Those are definitely less saturated. And I kind of like the very slightly less saturated look. So what we're going to do is have a separate thing in here in our emission color and force a desaturation node in here. So now if I go into his upper body, I should be able to desaturate these a tiny bit. So as you can see, hold on a minute. If I desaturate to a value of 1, to over a value of 1, it puts color back in. There you go. See that? So if we make it like 0.3, A little bit less, 0.15, 0.2, 0.2. Yeah, that's roughly the same color profile as those guys. I like that. Cool. Why was it if I do this? Oh, right, of course. So if I turn off emission there, those all also get black. Yeah, okay. Sweet. Cool. So that's a minor effect on them, but it does look cooler because it's like I don't have to manually texture the edges to get that slight difference. Like if you can't see the difference, I should be able to. Oh wait, wrong area. I should be able to kind of demonstrate what's going on in here. So if I were to set the expo to 0, no, to 500, no, you're still getting the effect. I want it to look flat again, just so I could show you guys the difference. So if I go into the material and ignore what I've done, I don't know how laggy I am right now, but Unreal's acting really funky. Get funky. So if I just add this to emission, before I save that, I'm just gonna save all. I don't want to lose everything. Cool. And then if I apply, so you can see they're much more of a. Oh wait, that's kind of cheating. I should show. I should at the very least show how much emission they're getting. Well, you know what? To really show it, I could just do a lerp. Kind of overkill, but with or without adjustments, I don't know. Call it whatever. Put a 0 in there. Put that into our emission. So it should glow. So that I think that is with the Fresnel or Fresnel. Again, apparently both is correct, so I don't feel as bad anymore. And then if we go with or without, we set it to 1. See that? Look how much more flat that looks, right? That's just emission with no adjustment to Fresnel, no adjustment to, well, mostly it's to Fresnel, but no adjustment to the hue and to anything like that. And then adding some little tweaks to it, we can use a Fresnel to help adjust the color and adjust the how much emission there is. And because emission is essentially your color, adjusting your emission is also adjusting your color, which is why I set up a hue and stuff to alter those. Then if we apply that, you can see we get a very different effect in color. I am a little annoyed that our orange looks really bad. That doesn't look like orange anymore. It's really not holding its color at all, is it? Like, that holds its color more when I do that. But that makes it incredibly saturated, which I don't really want. That's weird. Oh, well. Yeah, you can see it's adding all that extra detail, which is super nice. Let's get rid of all those extra nodes that I'm not using to show that. There you go. Cool. Last bit we'll do for today. Yeah, I'll say today. We'll get the tail in because we still haven't done that. So, have we got the tail in here? Yes, we do. Sweet. So all we need to do is create another material. So if we get the base material. So when you're creating a master material, what you should be doing is, so sometimes you'll add more and more to it, but what you should be doing is at the very least separate them out. So if we select U, base color, and then I guess could do this, and then we select U and call your opacity, and we could have that set next to the opacity here. And if you really want, you could do reroute nodes to make it look even more neater. So that way, that way they actually don't overlap things, so you can see clearly where they're coming from. See what I mean? Make it go straight from here, come over here, you can reroute here if you want, like so. Just make it a bit neater. Technically, so this is a lot of stuff for our emission. What you could do is find the location where all that is. So if we select all this, and emission is underneath pretty much everything. It's not underneath normal, so And it's not underneath ambient occlusion. So I'll actually do this. This. And this is just for purposes of, especially when someone else loads it up, they can kind of see what they're looking at. If they know about materials, they'll be able to look at spaghetti material node systems, but they'll have an easier time if we do this as our emissive slash for now. We pop that there, and then we can use this up here as our base color. Like this. And again, if you want to make it so things aren't overlapping, where's this going into? It's going into there. And it's just about trying to make it organized so people know what they're looking at. It isn't the best organization, but I'm trying to demonstrate how to make it organized. So yeah, you can pull this above here. Yeah, let me select it. There you go. You know what I mean? Just try to make it look organized, even though this looks garbage right now, but whatever. Okay, so what was I coming in for? I was setting up a material for his, save that, setting up a material for his tail. So, let's freaking find the base. There you go. I should have located it for me. Let's go mi_ Hamlin tail. No BC or anything because it's just a tail. You could drag it in or whatever and do it here, but I want to make sure the base is going to also get it. So every time I drag him in, he'll have it. This scene must really have some bloom toned down and some all exposure tone. You should do a pseudo random stuff instead. It's more consistent. Exactly. I mean, you're not wrong. It technically is more consistent. So how's it going? Jovix or JVX? As again, I don't think I've seen you here before, but who knows? I have a bad memory. Okay, so come into here, and all you got to do, as I've shown before, because we've already got it all set up, we just need to write tail, because we've named our stuff. Albedo, normal, albedo, normal, and that should be our tail done. Ta-da! Yeah. I kind of. What's my post processing? I think he's a little too saturated to begin with. Yeah, he's definitely got some additional on that I must have put on. So that looks too desaturated though. Maybe just 0.2. In a week, 5 years and going. Oh. Yeah, looking good. Uh-oh. That's disconnected. I do like that on both sides. What? How is one side fine? Don't they share the exact same mirror? I guess I slightly adjusted it because of the broken bit. There you go. That shouldn't mess up the texture too much. We can actually re-export that. Whole body with tail. I'm going to do what I've been doing and do a... Bring it in here. Cool, that shouldn't mess anything up. And then we want to do a... not export texture. I'm going to export mesh. Why is it... I hate when I do a setting and it resets it. I really, really dislike that. Like, if I've changed this setting for that project at the very least, you should save that so I've changed. But if I go to export again, it's got it ticked again. All right, so let's re-import him now. Again, this shouldn't break anything. It should just fix that part of the ear. Fingers crossed. Hey, there you go. I don't know how much I like this lighting setup to begin with. Why are we at 120 frames now? Why the frames have randomly gone up? I wonder if it's still being really weird on Epic. Yep. So, of course, when I render it... Oh, man, it looks too desaturated now, right? Of course, when I go to render it, I'm going to set everything to just cinematic because it doesn't matter how low FPS we're getting for a quick render. Saturate. Yeah, it definitely looks right on 1.25. I assume I got to that value by doing a little bit of testing. I can always saturate him himself if I think he needs like a more saturated face, so that yellow needs to pop a bit more. Because the way I've got our material set up, I could just... Oh, is that just desaturating the emission? It is. Yeah, alright, desat emission. And then I'll do another desaturation node that does the base texture. So that way we have full control over that. Choose the name of it to just desat. Apply. That shouldn't break anything. No, we look good. Now if I go into... Also, what are you, JVX? Are you artist or programmer? There you go. Well, that looks hilarious. So I should be able to adjust that if I want to... Wow! That's only a tiny bit of saturation. That's really strong. So if I... Yeah, like, see that? How strong that is? I'm at 0.5. 0.5 saturation. Look. That really, really does it. And then if I turn that off... Wow, that's strong. I mean, it looks good anyway. I don't know why I'm adjusting it. It is funny, though, because why is my emission coming off much weaker? Is my exposure... So this is one of the... I essentially adjusted one of Unreal's default rendering scenes. If you go, like... Not file new, but if you create a project as a rendering car scene, I've used that for my basis of rendering stuff. Oh, so it's not using auto exposure, it's using manual. That's interesting to know. So how do I... It's set to manual, but where are the settings I can change? Are these... Oh, I guess these are changed, right? Oh, no, but I can't. Oh, there must be something changed that I don't know how to... Like, it's set somewhere. There you go. So we've got some camera angles as well, right? If we go... I think that's the one I was using. That's a very clean one. Oh, that's the one I'm looking for. Oh, that's got blur on it. Interesting. So I'm going to actually just delete a couple of the cameras. The ones that aren't looking at him, I'm going to just delete for now. So we ain't got... What's the target slots? Delete those, right? Ooh, we won't delete those, sorry. Yeah, that's the one we're in. If we go into this one, we select him as our focal or focus point. There you go. He should be sharp now. And then if we get back into our camera settings, Jesus Christ, I need this to be a bit longer. There you go. If we turn this down, we start getting a blur. Oh no! I swear that's the one that adjusts blur. Is it not? Oh no, that's like aperture. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. I think it'd be really funny if you used Mixmo and made him do random things. I know you're getting it done properly, but just to see. I mean, I'm not an animator. Well, I get him because I have a rigger who wants to sort it out. But the problem is, if I put him into Mixmo right now, he won't work. But we'll throw him in just for the lulz before we finish stream. He's looking good though, right? Right, guys, right. He's looking good. Let me see what looks like on my 2K monitor. I accidentally dragged the taskbar. Wow, he's so much more contrasted on my other monitor. So I have 3 different monitors that have a slight offset on because they're 3 very different monitors. One's like a freaking 10-year-old monitor. One's like a 4-year-old monitor that's also a tablet with a glass screen, and one's my new. I've had it for like a year now. 2K monitor or wait, what's it called? UHD? No, QHD, not UHD. And it always looks more contrast on that, so I tend to need to get other people's opinion to see what looks good for lighting because I have 3 different ways to see my lighting. Or more the post-processing, right? Rather than lighting. Log into Mixamo. Continue. Add a backup password, not now. Or backup email address, sorry. Cool. Now, I don't think it's going to work because it's going to grab his hair, right? But we'll have a check. Hemorrhage poly substance. Which one was he? It was a substance one, right? That's what we're using. Can you pull it out, slightly fix it, and push it back in? Like, push it back as an upload. I am really tired. I had about 7 hours sleep, maybe just a little, maybe 6.5. But I feel really tired. How long will I be streaming for? I'm hoping it's at least over 2 hours. Oh, nice. It's coming up to 3 hours. Wow, this is taking a while. I mean, he is kind of high poly, right? We isolated him out. He's still 100,000. That surprises me. What parts is taking up so much? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty dense. So am I. That's not too bad. They're not bad at all. Oh, but they're clearly subdivided. I don't know how many times. Just once. Probably could be thingy. Oh, that definitely can be adjusted. Yeah, this can definitely be reduced. That's pretty good. I mean, down here could be a bit more optimized. That's pretty good. That's very good. Except here. They could be a bit more optimized. Gloves? Aha! They can definitely be optimized more, especially around here. Look at that. And his fingies can be optimized. Don't you sort of manually set up the rig like really basic weighting? No, mix mode does it all for you. I mean, maybe you can do, but what? You just literally like auto rigger. So this is 100,000 tries. So I assume it shouldn't. Oh, whoa! It's got a texture on it. That's weird. What the heck? Good chin. His chin comes back a lot, so I don't know how much it's actually gonna be able to do the chin. Yeah, about there. Elbow is about there, right? Let me check the model. Check. Oh yeah, it's like here, right? Yeah, it's where that pinch is. It's like just before here. Wow, that means he's got massive forearms. Hold on a minute. It's because like the way I made it. It's because his arm stopped there, right? I mean, your forearm is usually a little bit longer, but that definitely should have been. Oh, it's because his gloves are so big. That should have definitely been more here, though, right? Oh well, I don't think anyone's going to care if he's got a long forearm. He's not human anyway. What does the concept look like? How long does his forearms look there? Yeah, I mean, his forearms are pretty long. Think of it going from here to here compared to here. Definitely longer here, though. I think I definitely needed it. It's not that I need it to be further in, it's that I need these arms just to be a little bit longer. I need the whole thing to shift out, right? It's amazing what you notice randomly. So essentially, I need it to instead just come out to about here. Then I need the rest of his arm to slightly come out too, like that. So that way we've got an elbow that makes a lot more sense. But I might do that off stream. I've noticed it now, so I'll probably fix it off stream. But if we go back into it, yeah, it was literally pretty much, yeah, just before, pretty much where he had it just before. Knees, well, it's kind of hard to see the knees, but they presumably are around just here-ish. And his groin, obviously, is around here. Next. Oh, yeah, it's going to mess up his tail loads. Yeah, this isn't going to work at all. Is it going to average out the rig to, like, really far behind him because of the tail? Could take up to 2 minutes. So you guys come here often? Anyone messaging me? Nope. It will be glorious. This is going to be so messed up. I did this before without the tail, and it wasn't like the worst thing in the world. But with the tail, I think this is going to be so busted. I could always re-export him out without his tail. I have a version like that, actually. We could just re-import that version instead. I just want to see if I can get him to like a Fortnite dance. Oh my, yeah, it is busted. His arms completely separate from his body, and what? Like his body kind of works, but then anything like from his arms, it knows to not make his tail thingy though. That's good. Wait, so what's breaking it then? His ears. Oh, it's because of the end of the ears. It's because of it's because of that, isn't it? I had a feeling it'd do that, but I swear it didn't do it that poorly last time. But this part here is basically ruining that. Because that's fine here, because when the animator would have done it, he wouldn't be T-posing. Maybe I should have done him in an A pose when I originally made him, right? But I worked from the waist upwards when I was making him, so I didn't realize how much the ears would need to come out. But yeah, maybe I should have A posed him, because in an A pose, you likely wouldn't be getting those issues. I don't think I can A pose him now because of the way it's made. Like, you just wouldn't be able to do it properly. Kind of. I mean, let me make a duplicate and we'll do an A pose version. Actually, we'll just do a duplicate here. Duplicate. Do this. And we'll do this. We'll delete half of him. So this is literally just going to be for the lols. We're not making this actually a functional one for texturing purposes anyway. Also, what you could do is any part of this mesh that is going to be mirrored or will have sort of basically mirrored textures, you could actually mirror the UVs and save a lot of UV space. I haven't done that, but you could. Not clipping, I just want to merge. There you go. Merge. Cool. We want to do the same with you. We want to do the same with the fingertips. And we want to basically connect all of these up to just you, right? Yeah, you. Wait, where's fingertips go? Hold on a minute. They'll delete both of them. Just you. There you go. Like you. Do that. Duplicate the whole thing. And then if I select... And we just do a bit at a time. Okay, it's too much. Try to get it as A pose as I can. Oh, I've got this mirrored the opposite way. Nice. Wait, hold on a minute. There you go. So this is kind of flat, so this will actually be easier to just slot in. There you go. Now we've got like an A pose version. So this might work better. Fingers crossed. Let's export that FBX. And we're just going to go Amlin A pose. You know, it's cool though to see the difference between A pose and T pose and what benefits you can have. Because it never crossed my mind when obviously when I was making it that I'd have any problems with a T pose because why would I? Why would that cross my mind? But then obviously when I made the head and the ears and I realized they're gonna clip because how big the head and ears are and the hair, that's obviously gonna be like a red flag. And to why maybe I should have done a well, it's why when someone does a character sheet for you, because this obviously didn't have a character sheet, but when you actually have a character sheet, you'd see this in the character sheet. I'm doing a T pose for some reason because I'm for some reason demonstrating it. But you know what I mean? Like you'd see it in the character sheet, and if the person drawing it realized it was going to overlap, he may have A posed it instead. He may have gone, oh, let me A pose him and redraw him in an A pose because I've just noticed it doesn't work in a T pose because things clip. His wrists are about there, right? Wait, wrist? No, sorry, elbows are about there. His wrist is basically there. His elbows just before. His knees are roughly there. His groin is obviously right there. I'm going to put the groin just below the belt. There you go. I like how he spins on an axis. Like he... Because it averages the model, it's spinned like halfway through the tail. Do I need anything to sleep in? Nope. I mean, if you want a character rig, you should probably do it manually. I'm just doing this for the lols. But I did just determine the difference between A posing and T posing and what problems you can encounter when T posing a character who has a big head and ears, because obviously the ears overlap where his hands are. If you're manually doing it, you can just manually paint what's happening here and it doesn't cause an issue. But if I'm doing something like Mixamo, I have a problem where it thinks it's supposed to be pulling the ears when you're pulling the arms. So I'm hoping an A pose will resolve that. Oh. Okay, his arm's still a bit janky, but it definitely works. Wait, what? I don't want to change character. What? What did I do? Hold on a minute. It didn't upload it. Am I dumb? What did I click something wrong? I just thought I clicked OK, but clearly I didn't. So we want to redo that, I guess, anyway, because it did break on the arm. So, oh, it's because his elbow, where I pulled it, his elbow has not come down as far as I thought. The elbow needs to be more like here. In fact, I'm going to do that. I pulled that down. I'm going to re-export it like that. This is not an actual one I'm going to use. This is just a mock one to test out rigging. A pose. Let's go back into... Can I cancel that? Cancel. Upload. A pose. Your video in the corner isn't updating. It is a little odd. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I'm just staring. What the heck? I wonder how long that's been like that for. People don't tend to update me on things going wrong with the stream. Moderate. I was like this as well. I was like, wait, what was I? I was like... Cool. Next. So I made his elbows lower down. How far down are they? Yeah, they're much more further down than I want now. Much more further down I want. They are as far down as I want them to be. So that shouldn't mess up like it did earlier. So we go wrist. We go elbow, which is now about there. We go knee, which is about there. Oh, thanks, Moderate. That's really helpful. Oh, no. That's not the groin. That's the groin. And that's the chin. I want to check how long that was frozen for. I'm actually curious now. Where's my stream? That's not my stream. That's like I was looking at earlier. That's awesome, though. I still think a lot of my stuff doesn't look... A lot of my stuff still looks too manufactured. Wow, you know what? It wasn't frozen for that long. At all. About 4 minutes ago. Because he's mirrored, the texture should kind of work. So I could use this A-pose one quickly and throw him in something like Unreal. But it won't be quite right. But like I said, I don't know if I need to A-pose him because I have a friend who's going to be rigging him for me. And he's going to be animating it for me. If he wants to, it's up to him. If he says, nah, I don't fancy it now, then I'll just do an A-pose version of the character, rig him that way, and have at it. Oh, is he coming in? I'm checking a Twitter post. My phone only ever shows me... Oh, his elbows are still breaking. It's like kind of bending back too far. Someone wrote something about learning Blender. Okay. No, what did I click again? Was that not next? What do you mean change character? Does that mean it's just going to change this character? Oh, it just meant it was going to change the other character. I'm an idiot. Okay, so his arms aren't bending correctly, but that's fine. So we want to find a dance. And his arms need to be spaced further apart because he's got huge hands. Further than that, Jesus. Yeah, it's just a bend here, right? Look, yeah, look, it doesn't quite... It's close. His bob part works fine. Wow, the bob part works really good. The tail bends a tiny bit, actually. But I'm glad the tail is not being affected almost at all. Yeah, his legs work perfect. Like, can I do a tap dance? That'd be a good way to test out the legs. Ah, what? There's no tap dance. Break dance. Let's go. Wait, I need to set the arm spacing high. Yeah! His head goes through the floor because his head's so big. Moonwalk. Dwarf walk. Actually, what does walking look like? Oh, well, the walking looks very good. The arm spacing doesn't even need to be that far apart. We're going to put it up a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, the walking looks very good. Oh, that looks awesome. Arm space 67. Yeah, that's about right. Now, it's slightly clipped. It needs to be a little bit higher. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty... Except from that slight bend you could just see in his arm, that looks pretty close. The feet look great. The way he slaps the shoes down. Wait, where's... There's got to be drunk animations, right? That's great. Mirror. Oh, right, I see. This animation really slaps with his feet slapping on the ground. Running turn left. Gary Hamlin, you got this. I want like a repeating one on the spot. I don't think any seems to repeat on the spot. Oh, in place. I'm an idiot. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, the feet are really good though, right? Like they seem to have rigged basic perfectly. This one doesn't have it in place. So arm spacing definitely needs to be further apart. Oh, he's getting a drink. Oh, and his hand's gone through his head. Look at him go. Woo! Hey. Oh, oh. Hey. Female dance pose. Oh my lord. Well, that actually works pretty well. Oh, that works really well. Oh my god. Look at that bend. Mate, he's flexible. Oh. Wait. Kung Fu. No. Fighting. Oh, that's got an equals at the start. Ah! Oh, martial arts is a good one. Gonna write karate as well. Oh, gotta see that one. Mate. Like, so his head, he sounds good for his head. If I just, like, arm space them out. Like, oh, he still touches his head, though. If I pull it out even more. He's like... Oh, well, is that it for martial arts? Sweep the leg. Oh. Jesus. Wait, we listed that one already, didn't we? Whoa. That's a lot. Oh, that's a full spin. Karate. Ah, that's not spelled karate, right? It's just karate. Yeah. Riding a bike? Bike. Oh. Riding a bike. Nope. Backflip. So I see a normal backflip. See it from the side. It doesn't quite get his tail in. Oh, look at that one. You don't even see the arm deforming poorly on these ones. Oh my god. Is that it for backflip? Parkour. Oh, what the? Whoa. Oh, run slide. Oh. Oh, that's sick. The arms work really well on that one. They're slightly hitting his waist, though. I don't think arm spacing will help with that. What does override do? Oh, just speeds it up. If I had it really low, would that be really slow? Yeah. Flip kick. Wall run. Again. Oh. Climbing up wall. In place. That's cool. He's got long nails. You can really see them in this one. I love this. Oh no, the clothes. Then again, is that supposed to? Oh no, I was gonna say, is it like the wall pressing on it? But no, definitely not, because his feet are further out. It's got like 22. I don't know really what that's gonna show me. Oh my god. All right, we'll look at a couple of funny more dances and we'll end the stream. What's that one? Shopping cart dance. How light is that shopping cart? Whoa. Hip hop dance. Oh, you know what? Is that like a sexy dance? No. Because that word's probably too explicit. What about like that salsa? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Not sure what range does. Sword fight. That's a pretty standard sword fight. Oh. Run with sword. Oh, he died. Oh my god. Yep, that is a run with sword. Let's check it in place. Yeah, pretty accurate. What is he being hit with? Jesus. What is that? Oh, that's the whole pack now. Oh. There's much less sword fighting than I thought there'd be. Anyways, that's it for today. I kind of wish I did have him in an A pose now, because I could probably rig him myself. It'd be even easier for my, like, if I did it. Well, it'd be easier. Well, not as easy as mixed mode. It does it for me, but obviously there's a lot of broken stuff, and I need to do a whole bone rig for his tail too. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream, and I will catch you guys probably next Friday to make up for not streaming Saturday or Friday. I might do one during the stream, but I have got a lot of work to do at the moment. So I don't know if I will be. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. Boys, boy.